early Friday morning, depending upon where you are in the world. A group of experienced comics professionals get together to examine and instruct about the art form that they love. That's great comic artwork on Comics by Night, Fridays at 5 a.m. Eastern, here on the Indie Comics Network, indiecomicsnetwork.com.
What was that? This is not a charade.
Lockdown Games and Luke Stone Studios presents Hybrids, the role-playing game. This core rules to the new Base Plus 2 game engine allows you to design your own character and create your own homebrewed adventure, complete with charts, maps, and every resource needed to dive right into the Hybrids universe on your own, or continue where the quick play left off with a brand new module. Get caught up on the series with the Killing Field trade paperback. Enhanced with creator commentary and behind-the-scenes information, this special edition gives you even more value in entertainment. All this and more on Indiegogo. What a crowd. What a crowd.
What a crowd.
Oh man, it's going to be a great day. It's going to be one heck of a day. Man, look at this panel that we've got here.
Good morning.
Look at this. Let's arrange these.
Shift everybody around.
Why am I the center panel?
You're the closest one that looks like Ann B. Davis. That's why.
It's like, are you Marshall? There's a story. Oh. Yep.
Alice.
Oh, you're Alice. That's
Alice.
correct. That's correct.
That is not a commentary on
anybody or anything.
No.
Yeah.
race or anything.
I can hold
goodness.
a room if you want.
How's everybody doing today? Everybody doing all right?
Good.
Yes.
Week 2 without Nick, but we've got plenty of smiling faces to hang out. I noticed you guys asking how long is the what is it, the overture of bacon?
I was
Bake
like,
overture.
Now I just want bacon.
Yeah. Well, we got to have some time to grab our refresh our drinks. It's a little longer walk for me now in the new house. To get to get the fresh coffee. So you get a little extra sizzle. A little extra sizzle in the morning.
I'm hungry now.
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you, we have a fantastic day prepared for you guys. We are going to have fun. This is going to be a good one, guys. This is going to be probably one of the best episodes that we've ever had. So make sure you're sharing out that link, hitting like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Speaking of subscribing, check this out. We've already got a new channel member. Grey Wolf Graphics is now a new channel member. And you know what happens whenever we get a new channel member? We get a super chat. Somebody gets backed while on the program. We make the bird dance. Let's make the bird dance, folks. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
You gotta make the bird dance, man. It's gotta happen.
That is good. That bird's good, but that's cultural appropriation. That's the sounds of my people.
I don't care. You don't understand about my culture.
Yeah, exactly.
You see, my culture is that we appropriate other people's culture, and
Dude,
we have
it's
for
awesome. It's
generations.
Awesome. It's awesome.
It's gonna be that kind of a show. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I bring that energy.
Pedro brings that energy.
No.
Yes.
Need more coffee.
So we have some brand new friends today. So we've got Carissa Grant, who's joining us today. Has a campaign going live, and we'll be chatting with her. We also have Lori Calcaterra. Did I say that right? Calcaterra?
Yes, you did.
Nice.
Gold star. Excellent.
Nailed it. Yes. Lori Calcaterra is in the house, and we also have Black Knight.
Hey.
My Russian brethren. It's good to have you here today.
Bulgarian, but
Bulgarian, but yeah, there we go.
Bulgarians.
Didn't mean to insult you.
I know.
Sorry, yeah,
You were
there's a
doing
big
so
difference.
well, Luke.
Well, here's the problem.
Be careful.
It doesn't matter where he's from. He's got the accent, right? So if I ever run for office, they're going to say that I colluded.
yeah.
Exactly.
So,
I have not had enough coffee yet.
I can't run for office. The wife won't let me. I asked
Yeah,
her.
exactly.
oh, she won't let you?
Nope. Too busy making comics.
As you should be, my friend. I do believe your time is better spent making comics.
That's what she keeps
Politics
telling me
is
too.
politics is. You may notice that I no longer have I'm no longer washed out on the one side over here. I purchased a blackout mirror so that y'all can stop complaining. I'm sick of it. So now I'm living in the cave. You know,
It's all about lighting, sir.
It is all about that lighting, and my microphone still gets in front of one of my key lights, but oh well.
I mean, the thing is, like, the rim light hitting your microphone gives your studio an aura of professionalism. So
yeah,
it's actually,
like
I thought it was planned.
No, well, some pretty BA stuff happens in this office.
That's why I wear black armor.
Anyway,
We're like, moving on.
that pregnant pause brought to you by. Who brought that today? Who brought that by?
Where's the beat?
Okay.
Awesome campaign. Yeah.
Welcome, awesome campaign, one of my favorites. Let's welcome the chat this morning and see how they're doing. Welcome, chat. First, we've already said hello to Grey Wolf. Thank you for being here. Mad Ruth is on the panel,
Amen.
and he is in the chat. So it's great to have him here today. We've also got. I don't know that I can. How do you pronounce your name?
Marak Marberelian.
Like
Yes,
that.
that's me.
There's an R in there that my white tongue will not do those R's. Sorry, it just won't happen. Yeah,
I'm here to help.
So thank you. So thank you very much. But we've got him in the chat and on the panel this morning. We've got Marv V in the house. Welcome. Greetings, sinners. Just came here to say hi. Well, hello.
Hello.
Can't wait for March 31st to launch my campaign on Fund My Comic. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great day. We got Nicholas Gear in the house. Welcome, Nicholas. It's great to have you here today as well. File 13 is in the house. I'm hungry. We're all hungry, brother. We're just hungry for different things. Me, bacon. I'm hungry for bacon.
Bacon.
Moral Rising Comics is in the house. Hail, brother. It's good to have you here. Welcome, Wise Guys. Wise Guys Entertainment is in the house. Welcome. It's good to have you here today as well. Let me see who else we've got here. We've got Hojo. Hojo's here. Hail, Bacon A. Hail, Baconaires. It is great to have you here today. Hojo says, I'll just start dropping links. The Mythicals is already at 5K. The first stretch, that's the first stretch, I believe. And they're over at Fund My Comic as well. Be sure to check that out. Support him. He gets to keep more of his money on Fund My Comic. Right? That's great. Grey Wolf says that bird looks like a grouse.
I'll do. Yeah.
It might be. Yeah. Too small to be a quail. It is. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's a quail. I think it's some kind of
Grouse.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's like
a pheasant.
Maybe it says. Maybe it says what kind of bird it is.
We're just turning into National Geographic.
It's a Saki. It's a SACI. Sashi. I don't know how you would pronounce it. You know what?
It's a bird.
I will just go after those words like I do everything else.
Not to worry. I have a permit.
This just says I can do what I want.
Pretty much. Yep, pretty much. That's about right.
I like it.
We've got Dreaded Dinosaur House. Dreaded Dinosaur
Eric.
in the house. Welcome, Eric. Dad's getting surgery today. Sorry about that. We'll be praying for him. Otherwise, I'm sure he would be here, gracing us with his presence. We've got Russ Leach, the comic book black belt in the house. Don't panic. Make comics.
Yep.
Yes. You can also get that shirt on the arrowcomics.store that says, I don't have time to die or something.
Death
like
can
that.
wait. Death can wait. I'm making comics.
I'm making comics. Glenn Fleming is in the house. Hey, fellas and lasses. We do have some lasses today. We've classed up the joint with a couple of ladies. It's about time we.
I was like, I haven't really talked with yet, so.
Well, they haven't talked yet, so that much yet. So let's find out. Let's find out exactly how classy we're gonna keep this thing. Très classé.
Sexist would say.
Yes. Got my first Eisner book yesterday, and 2 more are supposed to be here off the Amazon truck today. Had to reorder them. Oh, that's too bad. First 2 are still out in USPS limbo somewhere. Imagine that. That happens a lot. American Bliss just needs 6 more backers, folks.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, let's get American Bliss up there. Hopefully today we'll bacon wrap a couple of campaigns. Put a little bacon drizzle in there. A little what we call bacon dust.
Everything's
Bacon
better
bits.
with bacon.
Everything's better with bacon. Everything.
It's
Paul 13 says, perfect. 2 chicks, no Nick. Poor Nick. We love Nick. Nick is so I gotta okay, before we get going, here's what you guys need to know about Nick. Nick is this guy is he's a friend. This is the kind of guy you need in your corner, right? So Nick had to step away for purposes, health purposes, right? Well, I have no idea about this interaction when it took place, but apparently I am bigoted towards pagans. I hesitate when I say that because it sounds funny to say it. So apparently I'm bigoted towards pagans, which don't tell Anthony Romano, Dark Gift Comics, who I'm pretty good friends with, because he is a pagan, and I don't want him blocking me, right? So apparently I have done something in the past. I called someone out on social media and found them wanting, and I said, well, that does sound like me. Because I've been known to use that phrase once or twice. You have been weighed, you have been measured, you have been found wanting. So I was like, well, maybe that sounds like me. But so I'm like, there's a good possibility that I was just posting something on my Facebook and somebody came along and said something and I just stood my ground, which is typically what I do, right? But anyway, I've been blocked and all that stuff from these people. But now they tried to go after Nick. They're trying to cancel Nick now because he won't disown me. He's connected with me, right, through this. And so I told Nick this. I said, look, buddy, here's the deal. You can theater. I'm all for theater. If you need to disown me publicly, cut ties publicly, I'm perfectly fine with that. If that helps you out. He said no, that'd be in bad form. I'd never do it. So he'd rather take a cancellation effort on himself than publicly disavow me to prevent the cancellation. So that's the kind of guy Nick Tuckert is. So you guys need to be supporting that guy. And you know what I'm thinking about this? I just downloaded a new app last night. I've never used it before. But it is already on my nerves. It's like I already hate it. It's this app called Gilded. These guys down here, Black Knight and these guys, they got me on it last night. And you know what? This thing, it just keeps. It's like an anti-communist Discord. It's like Discord without all the communism.
Okay.
So yeah. Well, here's the problem with this thing. It is just non-stop been going off all night. And I can't figure out how to turn off the push notifications on it. Like, I have not been able to figure it out, right?
That's not the problem of the app, my friend.
Yeah, that's more on you.
Well, still, like everything else, it's like, it's normally like right there. You know, like, oh, just turn off the push notifications. And it's like...
They have nice options and settings. Yeah, you can turn it off.
Where are the settings on this thing? It has gone off, settings. I kid you not, 15 times in the last minute.
It says settings.
It's stupid.
No.
I'm like, it's about to get deleted.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. It could probably be in my
go on your phone
settings.
in an app. You can turn it off.
Because I'm like, I'm boomering this thing, you know? I'm not even a boomer, but I'm boomering it. But I'm like, it's like
silently judging you.
It's just annoying the crap out of me. Like it's like I'm done. Like I'm done with it. Like I'm about to throw my phone, and it was okay because I didn't have my watch on last night, so I have the Apple Watch, and it doesn't show me. Okay, there it is. Thank you, Jesus. No notifications. Oh, praise God, hallelujah. And I'm ADHD, right? So like it just makes it worse.
Oh yeah.
And it's been buzzing on my wrist all morning, and I'm like, how do I freaking shut this thing up? Yeah, so it was driving me nuts. But
that was the very first thing I did when I installed it. I shut all the
I didn't even ask for that.
That was the first thing.
Didn't ask for push notifications.
It's the same shit on Discord, by the way.
$10 says it's mostly FBI agents on there. Probably is, yeah.
It's like,
I was gonna say maybe I could see the site being like, it's free app, but to turn off notifications it's $10 a month.
yeah. That's where I'm like, what?
Just pay it. No,
about to go Super Saiyan on him, like, ah!
You need it.
Grey Wolf says I've got relatives mixed up with Wiccan stuff. Dude told me he called cops on some at the park one night as a prank. I told them cops and Satanists were sacrificing a cat. They went off.
On your family, though?
That's funny.
Depends. I did things like that for my brother.
Do you guys know that meme?
I've got family I'd call the cops on.
Yeah,
really?
Just for grins and giggles.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's grins and giggles at that point, guys.
Nick wears awesome shirts. We can all strive to be Nick.
Yeah, dude, like getting bashed against the hood and getting caught, hilarious.
How dare you? Yeah, it was really bad that they're trying to do that to Nick, right? Like it upset me. And but that just shows what kind of guy Nick is.
That and some people out there are just looking for an excuse to hate.
It's selective outrage is all it is.
Well,
they need a boogeyman.
While they scream equality and peace for all, they're attacking everybody else.
That exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So Anthony has created this campaign going around. What was that?
Black Knight?
Black Knight?
I was gonna say the best thing is people trying to cancel you is just go right at them.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm of the line of thinking that people need to get tired more.
Go run around.
Getting mad over stuff like that. No, just dude, you're getting mad. Dig a hole. Do something physical, like for about an hour, and after that, if you're still mad, then say something. But
Go run laps.
Yeah, Dreaded Dinosaur Man says, if there's anyone on Earth that's not found wanting, they sure as heck ain't on social media. That's true. That's true. They're probably just internet pagans.
Internet pagans.
So yeah, I am friends with an actual pagan, and his book is scheduled to launch on Fund My Comic.
There you go.
And so he is now. Welcome, Sugar Chris. It's good to have you here.
Hey, Sugar.
Sugar.
Actually up in time for a podcast. It's good.
Yeah. So he put in. He's got this campaign he's running that his book is the #1 pagan book on Fund My Comic.
Cool.
The only one, or?
It's hilarious. Yeah.
Grab those first when you can find it.
Exactly.
It's not wrong.
Yep.
And read it under moonlight.
Yeah, so that's pretty good stuff. But yeah, so they're trying to.
Look at all these level nerds. I love it.
Yeah, someone's trying to cancel Nick. Uncalled for, folks. But I just wanted. I thought everyone should know what kind of guy Nick was. He had a free ticket, full permission. Go ahead and disown me publicly. I mean, it's good timing. It works out.
I tell Lori
Yeah.
that all the time about me, but she hasn't done it yet. So.
I haven't done it yet. We're still friends.
Awesome. Welcome, King Bob. Good to have you here in the chat today. Look at all these lovely nerds. There are lovely nerds everywhere. It's gonna be a great day. Randy, how was your week, buddy?
It was good. I've been busy, running around like the proverbial chicken with his head cut off.
I understand that. Yeah.
Just crazy stuff, but good times. That and my back. My back's actually getting better. Thank goodness. Knock on wood. Yeah.
That is good news. That's really good news.
It's a pagan superstition. Knock on
Right,
wood.
yeah.
There we are.
Look, yeah, Christmas trees, pagan, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not bigoted towards pagans. I hide Easter eggs. I mean, come on. That's anyway. It's funnier in my head than when I said it out loud.
Yeah.
It's a pagan tradition. Astaria.
I'm just not awake yet.
Forced myself to stay awake.
There you go. Oh, he hasn't been to bed yet.
That's how it goes.
That's what's going on.
Suddenly it all makes sense.
Yep. All right. So, Craig, doing all right this week? Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Mad Ruth?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mad
Sleeping
Ruth.
Frozen.
Take care of things.
He's actually
Families.
sleeping. You can tell. What? Oh, there he is.
No.
Go ahead.
He was asleep.
Yeah. No, just
We thought you were asleep.
Can you imagine
Enjoying
how
that I might not have to-
how disappointed your kids would be if they're like going for an Easter egg hunt and find potatoes?
Nice.
What's this?
Yeah, dude.
Potato.
All right, so I was a youth pastor for a number of years, and we would do this caramel apple eating contest. And it really wasn't about the contest at all on who could eat the caramel apple fastest. One of the apples was an onion.
Oh.
It was a matter of who got the onion.
Gross.
That's how you build character with kids.
It really is. It really
And then
is.
it was how many bites would you take of the onion before you realized it was an onion and not an apple?
Oh, it's normally like 2 or 3 before they
Is it?
realize. That's a funny taste in apple. They're like,
Yeah, but there's always like the little beast that will eat it all.
Gross.
right.
Like,
Look.
what's wrong with you?
Where's
Look.
the core? Where's the core?
Yeah,
Like, who
exactly.
got the onion? We don't know.
Onion is
I don't
good.
know.
Look, those sweet onions,
Mm.
sweet Vidalia onions.
Yeah.
You could eat one of those all the way through, man. It wouldn't be a problem.
Saw it on the movie Holes.
Yeah. I mean, you'll repel bugs with your breath, but yeah.
Whew.
See, even Agent Zero knows. I mean, as long as it's a Vidalia onion,
Mhm.
I'd eat that
No.
with caramel. Yeah,
never
it's
had that.
delicious.
We're gonna say no to that.
Fancy.
Just
Yeah. It's a good day. So, Carissa, you've got a book. Is it live now or going to be live?
It's in pre-launch right now. It goes live April 18th.
April 18th. Okay. We'll talk about that a little bit more towards the end of the broadcast. But answer me this. What got you into comic books?
For reading comic books, my brother and Ghost Rider.
Nice.
So writing comics, Resident Evil 2 game. I became a role player for 15 years as Claire Redfield.
Oh, awesome.
I started writing.
So there's this misconception that there's no girls in comics, right?
That would be wrong.
That would be wrong, right? Or that you've got to kind of wokeify your comics in order to get girls to like it. Again, also wrong.
Laura, I don't think you've seen my second page.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Right?
Like between the two of us, like if either one of us, no, like that's really funny. We're like that statement.
But
Look, and not only are we into comics, it's horror comics.
Right. So I've looked through both of your guys' stuff, and it's like incredibly based, and I'm like, and I'm like, well, they've obviously been into comic books for a long time.
30-something years, 30 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But now all of a sudden it's like, well, if you want girls to like comics, no, there are plenty of girls in comics.
When I first started, Lori, what did I say to you? I said, don't tell anyone I'm a girl.
I know. She was like, most people think I'm a dude.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody. And I was just like, why? I was like, dude, be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't apologize for being a girl. And I was like, I am who I am, and guess what? People take me as I am. Like, that's it.
I was told they wouldn't take a horror chick.
Oh, I know. I'm just.
Yeah. King Bob says all I know is I'm not pissing off Lori.
Because I'm over here flipping around a karambit. This is my fidget spinner.
Right. Yeah.
Tell that to Anne Rice.
A fidget. So I don't want anybody to dox themselves, but if I were to guess, Lori is probably at least in one of the flyover states, if not one of the southern states, is what I would guess.
I'm in Tennessee.
That's what I would guess. I was guessing Tennessee.
That's where Carissa is.
Yeah.
I'm in Texas.
Texas?
Mm-hmm.
See, I was wondering, I was kind of going towards that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So there we go.
Everyone knows where I'm from. I don't have a filter. I probably shouldn't be in the public eye at all.
I woke up without a filter. So did Randy.
Yeah.
Randy and I both woke up from our naps without filters, and which was really weird for people because I'm a pastor. Like I'm reverend. I'm an ordained minister, and people are like, "Whoa, boy, you just say what you think now, don't you?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's kind of a problem." We call that an occupational hazard.
My husband yells at me all the time. He's like, "Stop telling everyone everything." I was like,
"Yeah."
We never talk.
Well, I mean, you do say a little too much about your comic book. There's sometimes I'm like, Carissa, stop your spoiling things.
No matter what I say, it's not going to make you.
It'll make don't do that, Chris. Look, I am all about giving away spoilers because by the time they read it, they're going to forget it. They're going to forget that you gave them a spoiler, and sometimes that spoiler is going to be the thing that's going to make them want to read it. Comic Book Black Belt has it right.
Not want to read it.
F filters.
Yeah.
You don't need them.
No.
So, Lori, what got you into comic books?
Reading comics. I have kind of like a weird story. I have of how I got into writing comics. I actually, if you haven't figured this out, I'm a martial artist, and I was choreographing fight scenes for a production company in Detroit. And then started writing for them web content. So a lot of action-based, like spy dramas, stuff like that. And then started writing comics. But I've always been reading comics for a long time. My husband and I love a lot of image books. We had that app, which made it so easy. It was like New Comic Book Day. You just download the ones, that you're reading. Right. And then it's just, on your phone. So it's anywhere, anytime. So a lot of image, like Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman, pretty much all his stuff. East of West, Saga, Invincible, Fables. But even some of the more, like, DC Comics is really where I started. Batman, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Started to do offshoots into, like, The Watchmen and stuff like that. It's just, visual storytelling is so unique. And it's like you use your imagination to fill in the blanks. You know what I mean? So it can be as intense as you make it. It's not like watching a show where it's like you're basically force-fed whatever Hollywood wants you to see. I love comics because you get so many diverse worlds that don't take millions of dollars to create, and like I said, your imagination fills it in. So I've always been a fan of comics, and it made sense that when I wrote my script that we would turn it into a comic book.
Awesome. Yeah, Randy and I have a great passion and appreciation for the sequential storytelling. in comic books. We love that. And every time I hear someone say like, that's what I loved and that's why I want to make comics, that always is like, we're winning.
Yes.
Yes. Comics will never die because of that very reason, I think.
Exactly right.
So
Comics
we're
good because when I told Lori I'm not. She always calls me a writer, and I said I'm not a writer. I'm a storyteller.
there you go.
So when I write my stories, it's I wrote 5 novels for this. I wrote 10 with the co-writer. The 5 is this series, and they're not for publishing. They were for fun, and I don't do the whole. I wasn't able to do the whole show don't tell thing because I just tell the story. So when it came to writing comic books, it was so easy to convert because I've told the story, and now I just have to convert it into script. So it was meant to be comics from the beginning. I just didn't know it yet.
I'm actually working on a graphic novel that was meant to be a movie, and he decided he wanted to do a graphic novel. So we're adapting this script to comic book pages, basically, for this graphic novel. And it's a lot of fun because it's way different than anything I've ever done before. But this guy has a total appreciation for the art form, and he's kind of given me a lot of liberties to turn the script. He attempted to break it down into a comic book script, but as you know, it is not the same as as prose or movie script because you can describe a multitude of actions for a single panel, and you can only draw like 1 or 2 of those actions at best. You're like, we're gonna have to, if we want to get that mood and that vibe, you have to kind of spread things out a bit. And but it's a lot of fun. I'm having a really good time with it.
I would say the hardest for me to go from novel to comic books was the dialogue. I had to shorten the dialogue a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
These monologues.
Yeah.
Oh, when I first wrote the first script, my letter is like, did you want to see any of the art or did you just want letters on the screen? I was like, all right. My first script actually was 2 because I had to literally cut it in half. So my first script was chapters 1 and 2, and it was a little bit easy. But that was the whole thing was dialogue because in my novel I just write whatever I want. So
right, yeah, it
really works that way in comics. But.
Now the obviously you have to have the dialogue back and forth between 2 characters, but there are comic books that's all it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that can get a little overwhelming. So you have to learn your pacing.
But mine do think more because people like the thought bubbles, but it was something we did because I wrote the novel and half the book was them thinking about the other person or the actions or whatever. So we have a lot of thought bubbles, but they rarely. I think 2 issues out of like the first 35 they actually get to talk to each other. So
though? Your comic book is so full of action. I don't think people are ever going to come to a comic, any issue of yours and be like, wow, that was boring. She has like crazy bad guys that she like zombie mermen and like a whole field of dead zombies and like what is it? Salamanders, giant salamanders, hellhounds. Like, and I'm just talking about hellhounds for a couple of issues, right? She has undead Anubis, like just crazy stuff. So even though like her characters are cerebral, they spend a lot of time kicking butt and taking names. So
they don't have time to talk.
No, they're just constantly shooting stuff.
Yeah, Russ is right. Internal monologue is severely missing in modern comics.
Comic Book Black Belt and I are currently adapting a short story that's almost 100 years old, and it's so well written. I'm sitting there trying to keep as much of the narration in as possible because it's so beautifully done.
Yeah.
So it's turning into more of a Prince Valiant look with a great picture and a block of text. And then when the dialogue pops in, we get the word balloons and that working in there. Okay. But it's turning out to be a lot of fun to adapt.
King Bob says, "Great, more money gone."
I like
That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Thought bubbles because my favorite part about reading a novel was to get inside their head, but my favorite part about watching a movie or reading a comic is to see the action. So I kind of like that. And I didn't know how it would go because I know thought bubbles. I don't. They're not a lot in comics, but especially Draven, he's a demon descendant. He's not much of a talker. So unless
you don't see him much anymore, and they're really greatly missed.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I was in an interview, and someone's like, "You brought back thought bubbles." I was like, "Yes."
I didn't realize I brought them back. But it is like bringing them back now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm.
Because
I
there's
think
just
that
there's
is
not
one
many
of
of
the
them.
challenges, though, with comics is like how much dialogue do you stay true to the script? With my artist Marco DeFillo, he is so talented. It's one of those like I don't even have to put the dialogue in, and you can understand exactly what's happening in the story.
Art's
So
amazing.
at that point, I can
Yeah,
adjust
but
the
I think
text.
the difference between, like Stan Leeing it up and describing the action versus an actual internal monologue is the difference between why the Hunger Games novels were so good and the movies were so bad.
Yeah.
Because you
I mean,
missed all
that's
of that
another
internal
thing.
dialogue.
That's another thing. Like a good writer will inform the artist, and that's why you need like the perfect artist for the project. Because if the artist is vibing with the writer, the writing will reflect on the imagery too. So that's the thing. Like sometimes I find that fight that comes between artists and writers, like you're too wordy or whatever. Like, dude, just make it fit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes I read a script and say, okay, this informs my camera angle right away. This informs the position of the characters, like who's closer to the camera, who's farther from the camera, and that's the thing. Like good writing does that to an artist. So I don't know. It's just if there's too much fighting on that regard, I think it's not a good match of artist and writer. That's why.
Me and my artist, we butt heads a lot in the first issue when we first started because I was just used to handing a script with panels and someone would write those panels and he wants to make the action work and I didn't understand that. So I finally backed off and I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn my 6 panels down to 3 and you turn it into whatever you want. He'll turn 3 into 8 if he needs to, and he does an immaculate job. And he does really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the tale flows into show, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah. So good to hear you speak up there, Black Knight. You're an accomplished writer yourself, man.
I'm just an indie with a few books.
An indie with a few books.
Am I surrounded by writers?
Yeah, sorry.
You are surrounded by writers right now. Pedro is the lone animator.
You're flanked.
That's all right. We might need covers later, man.
We all need variant covers.
Yeah, we love variant
Nice.
covers. Yeah.
Welcome, Johnny freaking Cage. Johnny freaking Cage in the house. That's right, Pedro. Put all writers in their place.
Hey, we're the ones that
I'm
hire the
not
artists.
fighting
Remember,
here.
you gotta be on our
Like,
side.
these are all potential,
Look.
dollars here.
And someone's doing
Nice.
a survey on Twitter, and they asked who's worse, writers or artists. And I said, well, as a writer/artist, writers are definitely way more insufferable than artists.
Why?
Man. It really depends.
It can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Because
depends.
the thing is, like, if
depends.
things get too bumpy, I'll just tell the writer, like, dude, maybe I'm not the right fit. Like, I have no fear of saying that.
Yeah.
And that has allowed me to keep a lot of people as friends.
Well, Lori and I give our artists like full freedom. Like I don't even think she writes a complete script. She's like, here, you take what I wrote and do what you want, and that's what I do.
Screenplay. Issues.
true.
Yeah, they're all screenplays. So Marco gets the script, and we talk about what's important that he has to draw. But then, other than that, it's just like be creative.
Yeah, dude. You know, I really have no problem with a writer telling me, like, dude, this is a moment that I want highlighted in the story, because I will take that into consideration. Because, dude, you wrote it. I'm interpreting it, so, dude, just let me know what you want, and maybe I'll come up with some other ideas. Like I come from a animation background, so I do storyboard a lot.
Yeah.
So what I do is I'll grab like a sequence. I treat it like a movie sequence and do different
story.
like different tryouts. You know, like, okay, I see this happening and I see these happening. Like very simple, like even playing with the panel layout, with the number of panels, and dealing with the camera angles, and then we discuss it. Like but it has to be a fast process. If not, it will take forever. So just like if your writer doesn't know how to visualize, I recommend you get books that will help you with that. Film directing, shot by shot. It's a blue book. Get that book. It will help you like learn how to visualize, how to like put a camera inside your brain, and that will make your life easier with artists.
I used to picture everything like a movie when I wrote, and now I picture everything in panels.
Nice, awesome.
Yeah.
Don't you
So
know writers racist too? I just thought hurricanes are racist.
Damn.
Everything is racist. Everything is racist now.
Everything is racist.
My question is, if everything is racist, is anything racist at the end of the day? Then
No.
Everything
they've kind of belittled all of that, really.
Everything is
So,
racist.
so we're gonna get into a few articles here, but no, I do say that, yeah, you guys are right. Like, I love all the talk about sequential art and, just the there's a lot of good. Like, we can complain about a lot out there, but there's so much good that's still there too.
Yeah.
And it's good to focus on those things. I listened to LD Literature Devil on his morning nonsense show, and he says, there's a red pill and there's a blue pill, and now people are talking about the black pill, which is where you like hear the truth. But he says we need to take the white pill, which is hope. That we understand the truth, but we're hopeful that things can be, that we can make things better or put the good things out there that need to be there. So, speaking of
the white pill, by the way, gold pill also.
Gold pill. Well, speaking of black pill, is coffee racist? How drinking coffee perpetuates white supremacy? Did you guys know this? Did you know that coffee was created by black people for black people? I did not know that, because I normally drink Colombian coffee. Is Colombian? Are they all? Pedro should know. Are they all
I
black?
drink Italian coffee.
Actually, okay. So, the origins of coffee, it's not even American. Coffee comes from the north of Africa. That's where the plant comes. It came down to America, and the best coffee places are Brazil, Colombia, and I don't want to toot my country's horn, but Panamanian coffee has won like 10 years in a row best gourmet coffee of the world. It's called geisha coffee. Now, the people who plant coffee don't necessarily need to be black. Just say anyone can plant coffee, and anyone can roast coffee, and they can make coffee. And articles like this make me just cheer for the clan. Dude, this is stupid.
Well, you see what this is doing. This is doing is to try to perpetuate hate and arguments. That's all they're doing here.
That's dumb.
That's all this is for.
Yep.
That's all this is for. There's no viable reason to create an article like this.
Even has that awful corpo art, that soulless corpo art. Just look at it. Just look at this shit.
It's bad.
Don't get me wrong. I'm offended by Starbucks.
Do they think that people will drink less coffee when they read this, or what? I mean, what is
or
the
drink
intent
more?
behind
They
this?
say they'll drink more.
Yeah, they're like,
people are
well.
not going to stop drinking coffee.
Dude.
I think they just want a reason to call people racist.
Oh, wait.
It's probably written by somebody who sells tea.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's find out who wrote this thing.
Yeah, I was like, where is this?
You know what I got here? Coffee.
Maybe some grifter wrote it.
Yeah.
Do they think only white people drink coffee?
White folks. White folks. Drinking coffee perpetuates gentrification and racism.
Uh-oh. I don't drink coffee. What does that make me?
Oh, this one cracked me up. It's not just that black folks cannot afford specialty coffee.
Oof.
That's racist. That's racist. Okay, that is racist. That right there. It's
Red Fox. Who wrote this?
When I read that right there, I was like, oh my gosh, this is written by some Berkeley grad white kid that is,
Look at the
trying
name,
to virtue
though.
signal.
The name looks,
And obsessed with Sanford and Son. Yep.
Wait, scroll up, because the name of the person who wrote it there, it does not look like Charles or Kevin or David.
Afro Staff by Afro Staff.
Oh, Afro Staff. So someone
the
from the
staff wrote it.
AFRU Staff. Yeah.
That's his safe word.
Where was that article? Where was that bit again? I need to read that. Okay. It's not just that black folks cannot afford specialty coffee, but the very acceptance of the term. Bloody colonies. You're all bonkers. We are bonkers.
Dude, okay, a pound of geisha coffee goes for $300. A lot of white people can't afford that either. This is
no, I can't afford that.
Drinking
I'm not.
$300.
I'm not. I don't buy Okay. So anyway,
Oh my god.
let's get
Never
back to
even
this.
blink
I never
this.
saw-
I mean, it's.
The term specialty coffee suggests that some coffee is somehow superior to others. It is. It is.
I mean, there's different.
Rooted in what?
That's
Grades?
why it's 300.
We can't have different grades of coffee.
No.
Extreme- Oh, this is so dumb.
This is Marxist theology at its worst,
yes.
right here.
Oh yes, it
This is not equality. This is equity. Equity of coffee, folks.
Coffee equity. Nice.
It suggests that some coffee is somehow superior to others, an idea that is rooted in whiteness.
Somebody, the person who wrote this wants us all tired and unstimulated.
Yeah, that's what they want.
That's what
They want no work to get done.
no work to get done.
Values like hard work creates better products is a white supremacist idea.
It's white. It's white.
I swear this has got to be parody.
He's a lazy writer too.
I swear this has got to be parody. There can't be. This cannot be serious.
If not, you've got
No, it is. No, it is. It is serious.
you've got someone who's
I can
really
tell you-
angry at everything their entire life.
I can tell you
Oh, yeah.
that
Real hater.
from my own experience as a kid living under communism, that a bunch of these so-called thinkers, quote unquote, they actually believe this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're that dumb.
And as a token black man of the panel, I can say that the stereotype of laziness is proven by some of my cousins. So I don't know what this guy's talking about. This is.
This statement, in and of itself, is one of the most racist things that I have ever heard.
No.
Values like hard work creates better products. That's a human value. That's a biblical value, which is Jewish,
That's a
by the way.
civilizational value.
Yes.
That's a civilizational value.
Does this guy, Afro, think black people don't work hard?
Probably.
That's what they're saying here.
That's
That's what it's saying. Values like hard work creates better products is a white supremacist idea that is constantly forced upon people of color and justifies stereotypes like the myth of laziness in people of color. And it's not laziness in people of color. It's laziness in all people.
In all people.
I'm lazy.
Right?
I'm not.
Hard work does... Look, we are artists and writers on this panel, right?
Huh.
And
Yes.
animators. Does hard work not create a better product?
Yes. It does.
oh yes.
1,000%.
You make
Chat,
more
you
money.
let me know right now. We've got quite a few of you
time.
watching. Does hard work create a better product? Are you more apt to spend money on a product that you can tell that somebody has given a lot of time and effort and attention to versus somebody that half-assed it?
Do you want to read a comic book with stick figures?
Yeah, right?
Look,
Order of the Sticks.
never-
I don't know. Those martial arts stick figures are pretty cool, so I'm just gonna.
That's different. That's a
some pretty
fight.
good-
So that it has a cool factor. But just stick
Yeah.
figures.
Anyway, I've had enough
I've
of
read
that.
some pretty
Yeah,
good
that's fine.
comics in my
Okay.
time. Yeah.
Anyway, I've had enough of that.
I think we should really make a jingle. It's that everything is awesome from the Lego movie to everything
Everything
is
is
princess.
princess.
Plant.
Yeah, there should be a parody.
I don't know.
Pedro's a musician. Get on it, buddy.
Oh, dude, like the thing is, like, I don't know, man. The cancellation of a black man must be brutal, but I want to try it. But yeah, I'm gonna come up with a song. Yeah, I'll do it. Everything is racist.
Protestant work
And
ethic
it's
is a
not that
term
bad.
for a reason.
Yeah, everything is racist, and it's,
Yeah.
and it's not that bad, guys. But, all right. No, the thing is, like, people are conflating like racism and systemic with not being loved. I don't want to be loved by everyone.
Yeah, King Bob, I
You know,
do feel
Old
very
ladies don't
stupid
like me.
I
having
was
to
gonna
ask
say, if
that
you're loved by
question.
everybody, you're not doing something right.
Yeah, you're lying to at least 80% of people. If everybody loves you.
Someone will be upset if you are true to yourself and you follow your dream.
Exactly.
Someone will be not follow you or troll you or whatever, and that's
Yep.
okay. That's just life. You're not meant for everybody, but your fans are out there, and they will come along.
Lori's
I
fans are
want to
out
get
there.
into some numbers,
Yeah,
guys.
Yeah, your fans are crazy.
my fans are crazy.
February 2023 NPD book scan. This is the top 20 author, manga, and superhero graphic novels. This is what the public gets to see from ICV2. Notice that it does not produce numbers, but it just gives you these numbers.
The list then?
So here's what we do.
That sounds too
Somebody on the panel named Luke buys a pro account so that he can read the pro articles to actually look at the numbers. So last month in February, superhero graphic novels, the number one graphic novel sold 6,605 units.
Wow.
That's
In a
not
month?
wow.
Pretty
In a month.
small for the mainstream.
That's The number 20 sold 651.
It's a huge difference.
At this rate, Hybrids Volume 1 in 1 month could have been in the top 50.
Star Wars today.
Dude,
The absolute
these
state
are
of Star
fruit
Wars.
fair numbers.
I was gonna say, like, we have so many indie products out there that have sold more than that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The Adventure Zone, The 11th Hour, is a author graphic novel, which author graphic novels, they're not tied to an IP, kind of one-shot kind of things. Top seller last month, 19,757.
Okay, so that's a lot bigger.
Dwarfs.
But,
Dwarfs,
yeah,
The Last Ronin, right?
right?
Yeah.
This is going to go through Scholastics and other book sales avenues, right? Dark Horse did make it on there with almost 5,000 units.
Oh, but that's more Critical Role than Dark Horse. They have a huge following.
Yes, yeah, it's Critical Role doing that.
Yeah.
Now here's the real numbers. Check this out.
Okay.
My Hero Academia
Graphic novel.
Volume 33.
Oh my God.
31,645,000. Look at that.
Yeah.
31,645 units in a month.
This is like UFC knockdown, like
Num-
ref
Yeah.
Number 2 did 15,725.
Yeah. Not even close. They're not even close.
There isn't an established IP in there. Like not like
No.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is an established IP.
So
Yeah.
these comic books, though, are they also available on digital, and are those being counted?
Ooh,
Are
well,
we
we will
only
talk
looking
about
at
that in a
sales of
moment.
physical items?
This is honestly NPD. It's book scans. It's physical items being sold.
Because a
That's
lot
what
of
this
those
is.
are probably available as digital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
They're not
Well,
being counted. It's not accurate.
yeah, but we will talk about that in a moment. So again, to see the top 200 comic books, because they will only show the top 20, I had to pay so that we could see this article. Beyond the top 20, or the top 50, you start getting into these. So after 50, that's Saga, Blue Book number 1, Batman, Superman, World's Finest, Star Wars, Saga number 61 didn't do quite as good as Saga number 62, but that's a mature title, so it's gonna, I think, it's gonna do a little bit better than most. Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing, and then you get all the way down here. You start seeing more of these, alt cover titles or whatever.
Oh, Joker, the Man Who Gave Birth.
Yeah, Joker, the Man Who Gave Birth.
Uh,
So those are the numbers that we're looking at for February. Let me pull up this article. This is an article that I wanted to bring up today. So this is in-depth 2022 comic store sales. The boom cycle goes bust. So new comics, back issues, graphic novels, not all bad. Not all bad.
Oh, yeah,
So in
not all bad.
2022, so in 2021 and 2021, comic books had the largest growth that it had in ages. And
They sold 5 more.
That's because of lockdown dollars, though,
So
right?
5 more, yes.
Yeah, that's it
oh,
exactly.
I gotta sign in.
And I love the fact that they put like not all bad on the title. And that's something you say to somebody who got run over by a car. Like, it's not all bad. Don't look down. Don't
You
look
will
down.
live.
Yeah.
Might not
you
have
will live.
legs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
look
We,
down.
we,
Whatever
we
you do.
removed your kidneys, but it's not all bad. Like,
Hey.
it's fine. It's
So, yeah,
fine.
it's not all bad. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. Okay, let's be honest.
a small
2020 and
setback.
2021 were massive boom years for comic retailers as the unexpected cloud of COVID had a
Thank
strange silver lining.
Thank you,
People
COVID.
were thank you COVID. People were stuck at home sometimes with
I never thought I would
enhanced
hear Luke
unemployment
Stone say
benefits.
that.
Thank you COVID, right?
Yeah.
You never thought you'd hear me say it.
No.
Well, it was the first time for everything, guys.
Yeah.
So it goes on. Let's just skip this a little bit. And comic sales are really a mixed bag with three main prongs: new releases, graphic novels, and back issues. New comic sales have taken a beating over the last year, while the graphic novel category has largely held steady, and back issues remain a wild horse that's usually a good bet. So
Why would that be?
look, I watched Thinking Critical's video where he had quotes from stores that I am aware of, familiar with. And they are all saying that comics are not their main sellers. They're a comic book shop, and their main form of income comes from games and collectibles.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
not Funko Pop anymore.
100%.
Funko
Not
Pop's
so
still
much,
a couple of them, but not as much.
Lori just sold a huge, her campaign. That's the first thing that sold is her
So-
campaign, their Funko Pop.
Jen King is one of the people that I'm familiar with. She's in this article. Our overall sales numbers were down year over year, says Jen King, owner of Space Cadets Collection in Oak Ridge, Oak Ridge North, Texas. The local economy has been pretty severely impacted by recession, which we started seeing roughly September of 2022. King suffers another wicked twist of fate as well. Her store had a game vendor sharing space in the store, but operating independently. That vendor has now left to start their own freestanding business. King is still adjusting to the change. We are a hybrid store carrying comics, graphic novels, and toys, she says. When we also carried games, we had much more cross traffic to help sell more of the other items. We need to have more events that draw folks into spending more time in the store where they can meet and get to know our staff and share what they're reading and what they love.
Organized chili cooking contest.
Right, yeah. Let's bring people in.
Yeah.
The final quarter of 2022 saw a steady flow of sellers coming into the shops to dump their comic investment and move into something else. One person says here. We picked up multiple collections with so much coming in that we had to become a lot choosier, as too many people were simply dumping too much at once. That is the speculators and the collectors. For too long, and we're going to talk about this here in a moment too, because Lori, you said that you would read your comics digitally, and we have departed from any kind of digital strategy in comics to cater to the how should I say it? Well, we'll just call them the speculators. That's what we're catering to. They cater to the speculators, and the distributors are catering to the stores, which are catering to the speculators and not the reader, which is why these stores are having the problems that they're having right now, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to go online, to get a subscription to like Comixology, and every Tuesday, Wednesday, when your new book comes out, you push the button. It's cheaper. It's, $2 to download, and you can keep reading from at home. You don't got to take the trip over to the store. That's what we were doing, and you can get all your titles in one place.
Yep.
I have
So Robinson is from a comic store called Graham Crackers, which is a big chain up in Chicago, I believe.
Yep.
And they're saying right now, he says that back issues comprise about 10% of Graham Crackers sales at a great profit margin. And they keep buying customers coming.
Well-
They keep the buying customers coming back.
For the indie for Kickstarter, out of 77 backers for the last one, 35 of them were PDFs, and I loved it because I didn't have to do anything.
Yes and no. I mean, I like the physical copies too.
Oh no, I like the physical. I'm saying I didn't have to mail anything out.
True. It's great for fulfillment.
Yep.
Push the button.
Yeah. I love the physical holding it, and so much easier to read. I like both because then when I'm on the run, I can read. Well, like I read yours all the time on my phone. So
yeah.
And then when I'm home, I'm getting yours, and she's live now, and I just ordered her ketchup, literal ketchup.
It's literally called ketchup because it's funny.
So, I already had the 3 PDFs of it, but I have to have the physical version of it.
Yeah,
so.
I'm that way too. I want all the things because I want to read them and then I want to reread it in the physical. Touch it, smell it. It has that visceral quality to it where it's just like you need to touch it and consume it that way as well.
That's why we buy a lot of merch.
What merch?
Merch, because we don't want all the things.
Yeah, you're bad like that.
Cardiangelo pretty much says why I don't like the speculator market, because they're not readers. They collect for investments, like buying silver or something like that for them. Says people were looking for key issues at a price they could flip. And what's going to be next in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, D'Angelo says. Everybody became an expert instantly. And now there's a glut of inventory in those same hands. You see on these collector groups on Facebook, Instagram, these collector, flipper, investor people trying to get some of their money back. And it's just what happens with the housing market with flippers. We've seen the exact same problem happen with house flippers.
And cars. Pretty much.
And cars, yeah, you name it.
It's called
big change for
speculation.
me. Yeah, it's called speculation. The big change for me is that the amount of new comics I buy is down by maybe 20%, he says. This is a store owner in California.
I'm sorry. I just read File 13's. I get a theme song, and it's "True Survivor" by David Hasselhoff.
Yes.
I love that song. Thank you. I appreciate that. We're friends now.
#1 in Germany.
Said periodicals are not a safe investment anymore. Comics are too expensive. We're ordering tighter. If a regular book, Action Comics, Amazing Spider-Man, whatever, is selling between 40 and 42 copies every month, there's no reason to go to 50.
True.
Yep.
It's not. What else we got here? I will always take risk and stock things I believe in, he says. Local Man, the new book by Tim Seeley and Tony Fleeks. Looks like a really fun, crazy book, and they sent out a great preview, but people might not know about it. That's the kind of thing I will get behind because I think we can build an audience for it. So Mike Banks, Samurai Comics is in Phoenix, Arizona. Gross numbers were almost the same from 2021 to 2022, with a very slight uptick for 2022, says Mike Banks. Nothing super sexy here, even category by category. Sales were fairly even across the board. So that's one guy saying that, right?
There was one exception, and again, it was back issues.
It was back issues. Part of that was by design, Banks says. We recently warehouse space and hired a dedicated person to buy and curate back issues. I'm going to move ahead to some of the graphic novels continue to go up. This is Jen King again, but I know why this is. Jen King says, we sold tons of big books in 2021, key issues, and important back issues. People largely stopped spending on big investment books December 2022 and focused on gifts. The volume of comics didn't change much, about 8%, but man, you can see how it affected the overall numbers. And there's another effect on the overall numbers. Our biggest problem is cost of labor, says John Robinson of Graham Crackers. New comics require more work than they ever have in the 40 plus years we've been open. We used to dream of not having a monopoly to deal with in Diamond, but we should have worded our wish more carefully, as we ended up with 3 monopolies instead, all of which do things slightly differently. Different file formats and so on.
Oligopoly.
Yep. New comics are almost more work than back issues at this point. But the work is worth it, and Cardiangelo is confident about consumers' confidence in general. People enjoy something, will spend the money on what they enjoy, he says. If they get a kick out of Disney Plus, they'll spend it on that. If they enjoy comics, they'll spend it on that. They'll work it out in their budget, though the budget can fluctuate. The good thing is people love comics. I have no problem selling $1, $2, $3 back issues. People can grab a handful of stuff that's familiar to them that they know they'll like at a low price. It's lower risk than some of the new stuff. Here's some serious numbers. Coliseum of Comics was a big chain back in my home state, Florida. New comics overall down 3.2%. Within that, DC Comics down 10.4%. Marvel Comics down 3%. Image Comics down 27.1%. Boom Studios down 28%. Dark Horse Comics down 25.6%. Indie Comics down 36.7%. Manga up 28%.
Yeah. No, could that be just sales, or are they producing less?
Yeah, dude, this is a.
That's got to be that'll change next year on that Funko number.
Yeah.
That will change next
Probably
year.
the same with the back issue number as well.
Back issues down 1% for Gen. Overall chain wide sales down 4%. Backlist graphic novel sales down 10%. New indie comics, everything except Marvel and DC, down 5%. That's John Robinson and Graham Crackers. Jen says overall store sales down 3.5%. Graphic novels down 8%.
But they don't mention their Marvel and DC numbers.
No. All comics, new and back issue combined, down 48%. All items not comics or graphic novels up 6%.
She's selling
That's
eggs?
what's keeping her. This is the most embarrassing thing. On
That's
this
not
article.
going to be sustainable for very long.
All
That
items
keeps up.
not comics or graphic novels.
Yep.
Maybe
up
she's
6%.
selling eggs.
She's selling collectibles, guys.
Oh.
Yeah, I know Jen. Jen is selling collectibles over there.
Oh, well.
Jen's a good store owner. We know crowdfunding is down a little bit this year because of economy and things like that. So we're dealing with that.
Crowdfunding's down a little, but the campaigns are up.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
do you think that adds to the indie numbers dropping? The fact that all the good books are crowdfunding?
I think so, yeah. I think that market saturation and lack of funds is making them have to choose a little more wisely on what they sell or what they buy.
If their customers are buying indie, like Randy's saying, if they're transferring and buying indie and completely avoiding the brick and mortar, right? It's not that they're not buying stuff; they're just not buying stuff from them anymore.
Doc, I'll send you a link.
Exactly. Yep.
Doc, I'll send you a link.
Heck yeah! Let's get Doc on the
Let's
show.
get Doc in the show.
I haven't hung out with Doc since Tuesday.
I do think that
you compare the quality of the independent books that are coming out from these so-called the brick and mortar publishers, let's put it that way, compared to the quality of the books that I've seen crowdfunded, and it's night and day.
It really is.
The quality of crowdfunding is so much higher.
Right now,
you've got a lot more guys going, and people in general going independent. That they're doing their own stuff their own way with their own campaigns.
Yeah.
Than they are having to deal with a publisher. Plus, as we all know, those publishers aren't getting paid correctly from Diamond at this point. So their money is probably safer going through crowdfunding.
Yeah, so what was it? 3 years ago, I backed Wrecked Planet by AVS. This book's late. I'm not gonna lie, it's late. But I got that package, and it had some beautiful stuff in it.
I still haven't seen mine.
It's probably on its way. I got an action figure.
either.
I got 2 extra books. In addition to it, I got a bunch of extras, and not just like those like some of their tchotchkes, but it's tchotchkes that I actually thought were cool. You know,
Okay.
just not the normal like kind of low end tchotchkes that you normally would get. And I'm like, man, this is really nice. And I haven't read the book yet, but the quality of the book looks amazing. And so, as much hate as he gets, the book
Can't argue with the quality.
can't argue with the quality. Can't argue with the quality. But here's another thing. So, channel check. Five Below manga collectible merch and games at Five Below. So we stopped at a Five Below store at 5630 Washington Avenue, Suite 4, located in Wisconsin. And they found what you've been talking about, and we've been talking about for a while, Randy. It's like they're finally opening their eyes. Manga's got $5 books.
Yeah.
At Five Below.
And a
They're
real nice display.
accessible.
Yep.
In a nice display, and they're accessible.
Yep.
They're accessible. I have a theory.
And all Marvel and DC can do. Marvel's reprinting their some of their archive volumes. They're sticking them out for $16 and putting them in the YA section in Barnes and Noble. That's the only thing I see remotely compared to what manga is doing with Five and Below. Manga. It's magnificent.
I don't know. Man.
Sorry.
DC had good
myself
trades at like the dollar store
Welcome,
for
Doc.
about a year, but the
Thanks, Doc.
quality's gone downhill. It's all
What's
the
up, Doc?
all the new stuff no one's buying.
I feel like I get excited to come sit at the table with the cool kid.
Hey, Doc. I like your hat.
Hi, Tessa. Hello, Lori Petro. With Randy, I know. I don't know Black Knight. Look, I know. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Hello.
Hello.
All right.
That's a Mrs. Doubtfire hello.
That's exactly what that was.
Yeah, nice.
I don't know what I'm doing here. I need to.
Yep.
That's all they said about it. That's it.
Yep.
Hey, look, they got him. That's it. That's all ICV2 said. They've got him.
I'm interested in what you were talking about before the show. You had said something. You had a theory about
I
why
do.
manga. I'd love to hear that.
I do have a theory. Let me pull this out for a little while.
Manga.
That's what she said. Sorry.
There's girls here.
Yeah. I have to remind myself that.
That's all right.
All
We'll
right.
probably
So,
say it after
yeah,
the
don't hit that one.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, so I have a theory that manga is doing so well because it has been well documented that manga is not created for us. It's created for a Japanese audience by a Japanese audience, and they don't care about us and how we feel about it. That's not their. They have no concern. When they get, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, where someone's like, "Well, there's not enough representation. There's not enough black people in this book," and they're like, "We don't care. It's not for you. It's not for her. I mean, you can read if you want, but it's for us. I mean, we've made this for whatever, you know." They don't. I think because it lacks American politics, it is very enticing to Americans who are sick of American politics.
Look, can I add to your theory?
Sure.
Because the thing is like, okay, the anime manga craze started first in Latin America before you guys got it. And that's something that American comics is lacking right now. It's the dedicated, embarrassing super fan. That's guys who go to bat for manga, no matter how ridiculous they look, they don't care. We love this.
Yeah.
That energy is contagious, and that is lost in the West.
Yep.
It really
and
is.
you will go and you see a guy that, dude, he basically looks like an Inca statue. It has nothing to do with Japan, but
Right.
he's dressed as Goku in the metro, and everybody stares at him and they go, ah! And he doesn't care.
Well, yeah,
He's
yeah,
Goku.
yeah,
Yeah,
people
he's
don't
having
care.
fun.
Yeah,
He's having fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's having fun.
he's
And
having a good time.
Yeah.
Now
that's
there
the
are people
thing.
that are like that here,
Yeah.
but they're kind of pushed into a certain sect.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of
But because we've got this PC culture that
Mm-hmm.
started, this political correctness and everything has to meet this
The message.
exactly the message.
Agenda.
So manga and anime will use stereotypes almost offensively, and they don't care.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's understandable.
How they depict black people is hilarious to me.
The key phrase there is they just don't care.
I
about-
find it but the thing is, like, I find it funny because I know this Japanese writer never met a black person, and he's just like he's interpreting rap, and that to me is awesome. Like, I'm laughing too. It's like
Yes,
yeah,
but they're
yeah.
doing it. They're doing it without malice, and
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
and they just want to
Yeah.
make something fun,
Right.
and that
When-
people
yeah.
would enjoy. And
they're-
When they include something.
if I may add to your to in support of your theory, is yes, I know a couple of Japanese people, and when we talked about political correctness, they told me that they don't care.
Yeah, they stare at you.
Yeah.
They don't care. I don't care either.
Nor I.
That's most of us don't care. Like we're very very much not caring about the political correctness of things. But really that's what you see is that if they have something that is inclusive, it's not a political statement. Nothing they do is a political statement. So when they feature somebody that's gay, it's not a political statement. And they
just
don't have the
to be gay.
religious
Yeah.
connotations that we have about homosexuality here, or
Yeah.
what they do in some other cultures, with the religion based around, with their views around homosexuality.
Even though homosexuality traditionally is frowned upon there too.
Yeah,
Right.
They
It
call it okama, and they put their hand like
They,
this.
they also
Yeah.
they do not have this browbeaten message of hate thyself because you
Yeah.
are the founding culture. They don't hate themselves, and they stay true to their product. They don't bend to the screaming social left. They just say, "Fuck it, I want to tell this story. That's what I'm going to tell."
Now,
And
there
it-
are
it's
a couple that I heard have come out recently
Mm-hmm.
that people are. I wound up doing this rabbit hole of research through the forums, and I'll never be able to get that time back. But I wanted to be able to speak on it to some degree of authority this morning. But there are a few that are out there where the creators have started to lean towards kind of the global, more American, westernized version of political correctness or having a message that they're trying to present. Now, I'll say this, comics have always taken human liberties as an important stance. Sometimes to the detriment, in order not to alienate one group of their readers to alienate another one. It happened. They went real hard with civil rights in some of the statements, the way they would portray white people, upset a few readers back in the 60s and 70s.
Dude.
And they're like, look, we're not all bad. Like, we just want to read our comic book. I understand that you're, what you're trying to do, but geez, give me a break. I'm not a villain, right? And so some people kind of get that. And I understand that sentiment a little bit. Yeah.
Really, the main reason they were like that, though, it comes down to simple sales. They were out to get the most sales from the most people the best way that they figured that they knew how. You go back and for example, Black Panther, when he was first created, he was originally had a cowl very much like Captain America's, where the front of his face was open.
Yeah.
They made him cover it up.
Because of the
The
lips.
people up at Marvel Made him cover it up because they didn't want that brown skin on the cover. Because they knew that book wasn't going to sell in the South to a majority of their already comic buyers if they saw that Black Panther was actually an African. That's why, and in fact, once Black Panther really became popular after Fantastic 450 because he's a kick-ass character, they put him in the Avengers in that cowl where he had this open part of his face from his nose down to his chin. People complained and said, you took away the cool part of the character, put the, cover his face back up because that was cool. So that's
the
what
mask was cool.
After a while, they consented to it because they realized it was cool.
And I can remember being a kid in the 70s. I think Randy and I were of a similar age here. When I saw black superheroes in Marvel or DC, it didn't mean anything to me at all that they were black. It was a cool character, was it a cool story? I didn't care. And I'm in the South. I thought we were supposed to be racist and obsessed with this stuff. No, it's the other way around.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I don't know. When they say 70s, to me, black superheroes are like Superfly, Shaft, and Dolomite. But I get it. I get the whole thing, like how things can be sensitive. The thing is, like, the sooner the people understand that political correctness, it's like when missionaries come to Latin America to build latrines. Guys, we already have toilets. It's not needed.
Right.
We're not, I mean, if somebody's easily offended, that's his problem. Like, even like, you can even say, like, I don't want to get your show in trouble, Luke, too. There's some words you can't really say. No, there's some words you can't really say, and I'm not going to say because it's going to get you in trouble. But dude, don't do that. I've been called that word before. What happened to me?
Nothing happens.
Because in the end, even if he means it from his heart, okay, I know you don't like me. Have a good life. I'm not going to go like if you're love me.
Whatever happened to sticks and stones, man?
Yeah, dude.
I got 3 ex-wives. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I promise.
Yeah, dude. Like, and the people who know you can really hurt you because they know that thing. They can turn it.
Yeah, they've already said all the mean shit. I don't care what everybody else says.
And now now it's down to the point that you don't want to have sex with me. You're a bigot. It's like, dude,
I just don't want to have sex with you. So when I first was introduced to the X-Men, the leader of the X-Men was Storm. And I just thought she was hot. I was like, that's pretty awesome. That punk rock look she had with the mohawk.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, man, Storm is awesome.
Yeah, see,
I loved that.
The George Perez design. And I thought, damn, that is the sexiest costume.
Yeah, dude. Storm looked dangerous in those days.
I didn't care what color pigment was on her face or her skin. I didn't care.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. If you study the history of all the Jim Crow laws, they were not the will of the people. They were just enforced because of the minority of racists who would cause mobs to form around presumptions of guilt. Yeah, it was the militant group, which the same thing you're running into now with this progressive Marxist theology that's running through everything. But that's my theory. That's why manga is so popular. It's because it doesn't have this progressive Marxist theology in it. It is first and foremost about telling the story. If there's a gay character, it's just because it's a gay character. They're not trying to make a statement. If there's inclusion, it's just because there's inclusion. They're not trying to make a statement. And we think and we think that every book now is either trying to make a statement or must make a statement. And if I write a book that has two black characters and a male character and a female character, and how dare I write from the perspective of a black character when I myself am not black, or write from the perspective of a gay character when I'm not gay, because I must either speak the message or at least adhere to the message or succumb to the message, bow to it. And when you refuse, then we make it political. I mean, it's stupid.
That's the point, because you go back and you look at Twilight Zone, you look at Star Trek, they all had points. They all had, a lot of them were very progressive point of view, but the way they got that point across was that they were talented enough writers and performers in order to deliver that message to you without beating you over the head with it.
Exactly.
Amen. Yep.
Exactly.
I have to answer to Russ.
It really comes down to quality and talent, and that's something that the publishers out there now aren't really looking at. They're looking to check boxes for kinds and types instead of talent. It's really the key.
Thank you for destroying my dreams, Russ.
Destroyed. Dreams destroyed.
I mean, what you're saying, Luke, is that basically Japanese artists, particularly manga and anime, simply held up the finger to the agenda and said, "We're not doing that."
I don't even know if they intentionally held up the finger as much as they know what it takes to be entertaining.
Yeah,
and there's a level of quality there that the artwork itself, the art form in Japan is so well respected. It's like a painter or a music writer or a novelist over here. Everybody over there worships the studios and the people creating these products. And if it's substandard, they'll sit there and point it out. There was I think there was a big call against Attack on Titan for the longest time because of the quality of the work.
The quality dropped.
That they felt was very substandard. But the idea behind it, sailed it through, and it sold like crazy here in the States because of the entertainment value.
Yeah, it was still entertaining. Yeah.
People tend to idolize the system in Japan, like the whole manga thing, and that's not perfect either.
Yeah,
those guys die of exhaustion.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So that's something that they can take into consideration. Like, don't idolize something. Okay, they're putting out great product, but there's a lot of like collapse and people falling on their desk because they just don't stop working and they have like.
You made him spit out his specialty coffee again.
That's my job.
Supremacist.
That's $300.
Yeah, $300.
Holy crap!
That was like $65 there.
Yeah, so don't force it.
When I was
tell your story. That's what's most important.
Yeah,
that's the idea.
I want to share this.
Foreplay it.
You would see businessmen in suits reading manga on the trains, on the transit. We would read a novel or play with your phone. They're reading manga, and I'm talking about suits, expensive haircuts. They're going to their, they call them salarymen over there.
Man, it's not looking like
More manga in Japan than there is toilet paper.
Yeah,
literally.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's accessible.
They don't use lots of toilet paper.
There's lots of toilet paper. I want to share this. So on one of the forums that I went to, this Quora, one of the questions is related to this question: why is it that LGBT characters get a free pass in anime by the fans, but when Hollywood does it, it's considered political correctness went too far? And this, I like this for a number of reasons. This particular writer responder says, number one, the basic idea is that Hollywood is stuck between a rock and a hard place in American culture wars. Japan isn't. And number two, there are little to no political correctness in Japan, at least when it comes to issues that Americans are sensitive to. So charges of being politically correct can't be leveled with a straight face. Number three, most anime are made by Japanese people for Japanese audience. Japan has had a different cultural history when it comes to LGBT individuals and has different tropes, stereotypes, and cultural expectations when compared with the US. The idea that being gay is sinful, criminal, or even condemnable never caught on in Japan. And the general view was that it was quirky or eccentricity. And number four, since LGBT individuals were not perceived as being evil, they were on average better portrayed in fiction, including anime, albeit there was a lot of stereotyping, but stereotypes are heavily used in anime anyway. And they continue on. Basically, Japan's not accused of being politically correct for representing LGBT characters in anime because there's no loud, large vocal group complaining or campaigning for diversity in the media, and no opposition to this group throwing political correctness charges all the time. Most Japanese people accept the character as they are. Most Western anime fans do the same. It's the price of admission to enjoying anime. I really like they had an interesting perspective as someone that is a U.S. based fan of the media. I wanted to share what they said because it really was one of the more well thought out arguments. There was a lot of like, well, what's wrong with woke? There was a few of those. And then there was like, what is a woke anime? Right? People didn't know what that meant or whatever. And they're like, name one. And someone would name one. No, that's fine. And so it was still like even... I believe, again, my theory is that manga and anime are so popular in the U.S. because they don't adhere to American politics. There's not that infusion or that filter by which it's through. Anything we do here is going to have that filter of left and right, progressive versus conservative. And even among the creators, there are very talented people out there that are making great books on both sides of a political spectrum. I never knew how Jack Kirby or Stan Lee voted. And I never cared. I never cared. It shouldn't matter, right? It shouldn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. I think
so. What they're doing different in Japan that we've lost with North America is consistency and reliability of a run. Like I read Spawn, for example, uninterrupted for 8 years. I read the one from 2002 until it ended uninterrupted. With manga, because it's consistent and they're not constantly rebooting or changing or revamping the whole characters, for the 14th, 15th, 16th time. Right. They're keeping their fan because they're consistent and reliable.
Yep.
Agreed. They are, and they're accessible. Yeah. Part of that accessibility we were talking about earlier today was that we haven't really focused in comics on a digital strategy for sales, where you can get all of these other books digitally. You can read on your iPad, and it's acceptable to do that, and it's understand because it's not for. You're not buying these books, Japanese comics, if you will, for collectability. You're buying them for story and for entertainment purposes. And when you don't like, oh well, I don't want to sell digital because I want people to buy. I understand. I want people to buy the physical copy too. I want them to collect it. But more than any of that, I want them to read the story.
Yep.
And if it means selling a digital copy, then that's what it means. And so what's going on right now is there's a new group to look at ways to streamline comic metadata, which is important because right now there's no metric for. Now we have metadata for music and other digital medias like movies and things like that. We understand that people are going to stream and they're going to view these things and enjoy these things through a digital format, not a hard copy, right? Now, we finally got some people talking about doing this for comic books. So this is a group of retailers, publishers, and distributors met at Comics Pro to discuss how to improve comic metadata, a step that would streamline ordering and other retailer tasks. Consistent, uniform data unlocks more accurate ordering, web store building, statistics tracking, customer targeting, and makes you more money, which is what we really all want, said Patty Pride, owner of the Eisner-winning comic shop Books with Pictures, who moderated the panel and called the formation of a working group to create a uniform standard. As long as also on the panel were Jessica Wells, the Senior Director of Customer Operations at Penguin Random House, Stu Colson. Now, like with anything, this metadata, obviously it's going to be for that. What they want to use it for is to track their sales better, right? But if every song right now that's produced, and I can't forget what the name of the code is because it's been so long since I've actually produced it, but it has a a digital stamp, like a fingerprint, that goes with that song. So every time it gets played on the air, it can be tracked by the publisher. Every time it gets downloaded, it can be tracked by the publisher. Every time it gets shared somewhere, it can get tracked by the publisher. And that's part of how YouTube is able to know that our songs, when we use things that there's a copyright on, that we don't have use of it, is because of that. Well, if they do this for comics, it's only going to make a digital market for it better. That's why people hated Napster. That's why, why that was such a big deal, because it was music theft. It was bypassing that metadata.
Dude, they were sharing, man.
We're just sharing. Yeah, right? They were stealing hard work that was being done, and they fixed that. But the reason why so many creators, especially indies, don't want to work with digital is because they don't want to be pirated. Well, I have a couple arguments with that. Number one, I don't think a lot of indie guys are going to get pirated. I just don't. Now I think maybe Marvel and DC will get pirated. Image should probably get pirated. I don't see people pirating Luke Stone. It's not really happening. Even at that, the few pirates I'd get out there, far less than
I can
number of
see
people
after
would.
a while. I can see after a while where it might become a problem, especially with folks selling trades at the
Yes.
$25-$30 a piece. If you can pop up on a pirate site and get it digitally, for free,
Yeah,
that might
makes
be a
sense.
problem.
Yeah, but shouldn't
I understand they did that with Cyberfrog as soon as it came out.
Yeah, they
just
did.
because folks wanted to read it, but they didn't
scanned
want to pay.
They don't want to give Ethan any money. Yeah. So I can see, there are certain situations where that is going to come into place. Ethan is going to be a little bit different story than Luke, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can kind of understand that. But yeah, so that's kind of my thought with this. I thought it was interesting that if they implement this, we're going to be able to see more avenues. It's more of an infrastructure for allowing a digital strategy for comic book sales.
I agree with everything you've said, including that there's a value in digital. But I'm so old school, man. Just the smell and the feel of an old comic book, particularly back in the day when they were printed on newsprint. Come on, man. It was the whole experience.
Even better. Yeah, even better.
Yep.
So part of the reason why I think we're having some trouble seeing there's been an influx of games on the market, but Chaosium unveiled their basic role-playing, the Universal Game Engine for RPG. It's an open RPG creative license game. So this just hit the market.
Guys, I have to head out. I promised my dad I will go with him to do some stuff, and then he just arrived, and I forgot. So.
Okay. All right. Thanks for being here. Have a good one.
Pedro, take care.
Tropical Magic's launching on Fun My Comic on April 1st. Be there. Take care, guys. Yeah.
So I was going to talk about the crowdfunding numbers a little bit more today, and how that was going, but I just don't feel like doing that right now. What I do want to talk about is Path of Pale Rider.
Yay! That was almost funded in 24 hours. Yeah, it was a little impressive.
Man.
Awesome.
Yep. This is from Lori Calcaterra. This is her book. Let's watch your trailer real quick.
Okay.
We'll ask you a few questions.
Sure.
Blow it up.
Hi, I'm Lori Calcaterra, writer-creator of the all-new Western Apocalypse comic book series, Path of the Pale Rider. Welcome to our Kickstarter to produce issue number 3 of our ongoing series. If you're not familiar with the story, it's about a cowboy 10 years into the apocalypse who is still looking for the answer to the question, why do the dead no longer die? He will go through wild terrain, undead bears, decipher conspiracy theories, and try to keep his heart beating in the process. Our new issue begins at the beginning of the fall, the day Death went missing, and you will get to see how quickly things begin to crumble. Follow Jude St. Clair as he navigates this new reality and deals with chaos, confusion, and undead humans. You'll get to meet a new cast of characters, see familiar fuzzy undead bears, and experience what started Jude down his perilous path. I'm also happy to announce we have a new artist on the team named Marta Gasparoni, who will be coloring the pencils and inks drawn by our very own Marco DeFillo. Cover art for this issue is done by Angelo Aquino, Everett Watkins, William Russell, and David Sanchez. If you're new to this series, don't worry. Issues 1 and 2 will be available in a catch-up tier. Also new to our campaign is samples of hot sauce, secret rewards, and even a chance to get mauled by Big James himself. So please, review our reward tiers and see which one works for you today. Thanks in advance for your support.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm going to mute this so we can talk to you while we look at it.
All right, cool.
So, this is your third book?
Yeah, it's our third issue of the series.
All right, so what got you started? Like, what was the inspiration for Cowboys and Zombies?
Well, I've always liked Westerns and apocalypse and horror. Those are kind of the genres that I just grew up, watching as a kid, and it just made sense for me to combine all three together. And I just had this crazy idea, like, what would happen to the earth? How would people react if none of us could leave? That death itself was broken, and it's not your typical zombie. It's like your body dies, but your soul doesn't leave your body upon death. So you're literally, your brain is rotting in your skull. So you become forgetful or violent or detached. There's a whole new population of people that is very chaotic and dangerous. What would happen? How would we treat that? What would it look like? And that just went from there. We created, like, not only just the comic book, a whole multimedia experience where we do short films that are fan interactive. I write riddles for people to solve, so you can, like, go down the rabbit hole and experience more of what Path of the Pale Rider is, just outside the comic as well.
That's really cool. Talk about that. What made you decide to take that approach?
The world is so big. So when I first had this idea, I built the world first. Before I wrote the main character and kind of how he moves, I wrote all the rules, because to me, I'm always looking for the mistakes. Like, that doesn't make sense, or he can't do that. I'm that type of nerd where I'll rip something apart because it doesn't make sense. So that's the first thing I did, was write down the world, write down the rules. But it's so big. There's, the story is told from Jude St. Clair's point of view. So if you're following him through the story, there's things we're going to miss. And I didn't like that. There's some really awesome stuff that's extra that you're not going to see in the comic book. So very early on, I was like, there's got to be a way where fans can experience some of these extra things. Like I had said, I come from stunts. I come from a production company. So doing short films was just a natural way for me to enrich the world. But then I love riddles too. So then it's like, okay, if you solve these riddles, you get little extra perks. Like, you find other people that have solved the riddles, or you get an interaction with the character. You might get a phone number to call. You might get a website to hack. It might lead you to a secret YouTube video or a podcast. There's just all these different levels that we're going to play with, and it's so much fun. So I really enjoy that kind of stuff. That's what I like.
So even the animals don't die?
It's people, animals, insects, fish, nothing can die. Death is broke.
Dies. Ugh.
So we have this, this giant undead bear named Big James, who's kind of become like the unofficial mascot of the series. And he makes his appearance right in the first issue, and he'll steal your heart and eat your face.
So this is a black and white comic?
Issue 1 is black and white. Of course, we were brand new, so that's all we could afford. It has a certain look in black and white, though, doesn't it?
I prefer a lot of black and white stuff.
You have such a crush on Jude.
I know. Issue 2 is in color. We were able to do that based off of the print job that that now crashed and burned, so that's fun. issue 3 will also be in color. We have intention of going back and coloring issue 1 as well.
Okay.
So I really think, you know, the black and white is a great look, but once Marco and Marta color these, it brings it to life.
It does
really
look good, yeah.
And I love how Marco like plays with panels, and he just does such a great job.
He's got a very unique style. I like it.
Yeah.
So you are funded?
We're 91%. And I would love if you guys would help me get
guys.
there, man. It's like when you
Come
get so
on,
close
guys,
where
91%.
Kickstarter puts the goal line in your tracker, and it's like, oh, so close.
I'm going to give everybody a seizure moving up real fast. Oh, yeah, look at that. So close. You need, oh, man, like $118.
Yeah, don't make me pay it all.
I need like $400.
$418.
Like $400. Less than $400. So we're real close. So.
Yeah.
But
Guys, I think we could put a little bacon on that.
Bacon on
wrap a little
Yep,
bacon on that.
Put a little bacon on it.
Wrap a little bacon around it for us. Yeah. So tell me more about. So how long are your shorts that you do? Those little short films that you do?
They range depending on what topic we're doing. If you scroll to the bottom, they're there. On the page, the last 2 riddles are on the Kickstarter page, and then the last 2 short films are also there. The first one we did, I think it was only a couple minutes. We were mimicking a commercial that, like, if you were in Path of the Pale Rider, you would have your TV on and see a commercial for the undead retirement community. And I have a sense of humor. The retirement community is called Pine Fox. Of course, if you watch Westerns, you know that they bury you in a pine box, right?
Yes.
So it's Pine Fox, Undead Retirement Community. So you're going to see in that one where it mimics the commercial, but then there's this juxtaposition of a riot that's happening in this world. So it's like white picket fence, how we want the world to be versus what the world really is. So that one, I think it's just like that. It's me. I photoshopped my face over Danny Trejo.
Yeah, you got a lot of knives there.
I like
It's
it.
funny.
It's Machete. Of course, Pedro left. You would appreciate that.
Yeah, he would have
So
appreciated
there's
it.
Pine Fox Community. That one's a couple minutes. This is the conspiracy theory one. That was for number 2. This one was so much fun. I had a ton of people show up for it. And we're so early in the series that it's people really have no idea what broke death, right? They've seen it, but I haven't hinted at what it really is. So I just went out as a reporter and I said, what do you think broke death? And I let people say whatever they wanted. And it
Did they
turned
even
out
know
real
what they were responding to?
I'm sorry, say again.
Did they know what they were responding to?
Oh,
Like,
yeah. A lot of these people are fans of the comic and have read, the issues. So
I agree with McDonald's.
I know. McDonald's is a really good one. She's great. Of course, she's a TikTok professional, so she knows how she has a screen presence. But people were saying like vaccines or like food, sugar, or GMOs, stuff like that. Other people were saying like government conspiracy, witches, aliens. But people were like, "Oh, it's Anthony Fauci," or like, what was Chris Hayes? He said it was voodoo pygmies. So it's like they could really say whatever they wanted, and I would put them in the short film. And we had a good time. We have a blooper reel of that one. It's so funny. And then that's the one where I get run over by the car. So
Don't be a Mexican, be a Mexican.
Lori's every around the breakfast table fascinates me. Hey, honey, today I need you to run over me with a car. And it's not that she says it, it's that her husband goes, all right.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure my husband would agree pretty quick without asking why, but yeah.
My last campaign, the welcome video, he had to like shove me off of a stool, and we of course did 12 takes of that because he thought it was hilarious. Of course I was not hurt. So we have a fun time. It makes our relationship real interesting, right? I'm like, hey, can you grab my feet? I'm gonna put blood all over my face. Just like yank me out of the shot. And he was like, what are we doing?
It's
We
just,
have fun. We have fun.
just a day that ends in Y. In the
I know. It's like, welcome to the Calcaterra house.
Yeah.
Calcaterra House.
Hey, look who it is.
And then Worthy Chaos,
Yay.
which I noticed that you
55
are
followers.
friends with. You're friends
Yeah.
with Sam Vera down there, and
He's
then
my mentor.
Worthy Chaos as well.
Yeah, so I have friends with, if you have a campaign and we want to cross promote, I got stuff there too.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I always put at the bottom recommendations, and Lori's number one is part of my PDF bundle, and I'm part of her
Yeah.
PDF bundle. So
My first
very
stretch goal, there's 8 comics that go to every single backer. So whether you're PDF or physical, you qualify for that first one, and Carissa's comic is on there. So you could get issue 1 of that if you back mine, and if you back Carissa, you can get issue 1 of Path of the Pale Rider. That's how we roll.
Path of the Pale Rider. That's a great name. That's a great name. I
Yeah,
like that.
there's a whole lot of meaning
sounds like-
behind
yeah.
that. And if
It sounds
you,
like there's like it's something that I should already be out there.
you should
Right.
know this.
for the
Who's
link,
the Pale Rider?
online, it would be a different link. That's just to show the art from the first one, because the pre-launch it's only a pre-launch, so you can't see
Oh,
any
I'm sorry.
turtle pages. No, that's
So
okay.
I
I know.
shared the wrong link.
But
I'm over here
yeah,
copying links like crazy, going.
I know.
Going
There's
nuts.
like 7,000 links in the private chat.
Yeah, you can't. That's the only thing that sucks about the pre-launch. You can't see anything.
No, that was
Yeah.
that was the pre-launch page. Yeah.
Though Draven looks epic there. So
I know he's got the whole like pose.
yeah, he's copying Dean from Supernatural. That's Dean.
Right. I totally get that. I can see that. You a Dean fan from Supernatural, are you?
Yes. Yeah, if you see the whole thing that
You're
that's
not
wrong with it.
I was like, read your comic.
Yeah.
It's 100% supernatural.
Yeah.
Buffy, Silent Hill. It's a good
Yeah.
time. Wild time.
I'm
Yeah,
actually
they
looking to
steal
be
the-
at.
They steal the Impala in the next issue. So
Nice. I'm actually looking to be at the Nashville Comic Con.
yeah, I'm gonna be there.
I'm trying to get a table over there because
I
there's
got-
a number of us that want to meet up.
Yeah, I'm
There's a
doing.
lot of creators in
I'm
Tennessee.
doing 11 campaigns this year. I mean 11 cons. My first one's today, so when this is over, I'm traveling 2.5 hours to the
Ooh, fun.
4-day convention, my first real convention. So we'll see how that goes. If I
I'm
survive.
not doing as many as I would like. I'm, we had a big moved across country, and it's been very,
Yeah.
it's been
Yeah,
time
most-
consuming.
It takes
Most
a
of
minute
mine
to
are-
get settled.
Most of mine are Tennessee. There's Kentucky is today till Sunday, and it starts tonight at 6 to 10. And then next
Kentucky.
month is Huntsville, Alabama for 3 days. Then the rest are Tennessee, either Nashville or local. And next year I'm gonna stay at Lori's house, and we're gonna do
Mhm.
Texas.
We're gonna do Dallas Comic Con together.
Oh, awesome! That sounds like fun.
Hmm.
Yeah, I need to get out, especially to talk about Fund My Comic a lot more, because.
Yeah.
But that's really taking up a lot of my time right now. Is doing the Fund My Comic thing because it's needed.
Yeah.
We need that alternative. See, you guys. All right, I'm gonna give both of you guys a word of advice. Okay.
Uh-oh.
You didn't ask for it. It's unsolicited. But I know what the hell I'm talking about. So listen to me. All right. Look at all this words.
But we are
I don't
writers.
see a stitch of art yet. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to the reader.
I'm sorry, it's so difficult if you can scroll down for a second.
No, most people don't want to deal with that. I'm serious.
No.
Most people don't want to do
I
that.
was told not to put the art first.
No. Whoever told you that, they're full of shit. They really are. They really are. This is the, if you want, and then all the covers, that's great. Show one cover and then show interior art. And then go back and show the other pieces of art. I'm telling you, you'll be way more successful with it. People got to scroll forever to look at, this is what they want to see. They don't want to read all that. They don't want homework. They want pictures. They want fun. They want fast cars going vroom. They want a blonde chick running from a monster. That's what they want. That's what they want.
You almost have to think of it like a comic page.
Yep. They don't want to
Do you want to read that much prose before you hit something visually exciting?
Yeah.
It's a
Don't do
game
this to us.
though, because Kickstarter right now, if you put your
That's what I was told.
if you put your team up top, they will be more likely to give you project we love.
Yeah, I don't. As a consumer, I don't care about projects we love.
It gives you
I-
extra marketing for free.
Yeah, but I don't care about projects we love. I don't care about your creative team.
That's
If I'm buying a comic book,
Yeah.
no, trust me, I am part of people's creative teams all the time. If I'm buying a comic book, I am interested in what the art looks like and if they're a competent writer, right? So show me a cover, show me your best cover, then show me some finished pages that are sequential, that are lettered so that I can see that you know how to write, and so I'll know what I'm going to get. And then if that entices me enough to scroll down, then give me more to keep reeling me in. So that's what I tell everybody that I work with campaigns. I mean, when these people they're making, with the exception of me, because I never get to promote my own dang book, are making a lot of money. Or really, that's how you do it. Because it's all about the consumer. See, when you try to set up your campaign for the platform, I did a whole video on this the other day. They are not giving you. Here, I'll just use this for an example. Let me go here and show the algorithms actually used to help you, but they don't help you anymore. You want to know where I'll show you right where your backing's coming from. This campaign we did 10,000. Okay, did 10,000. If you look at my campaign, what did we do? Cover up front, 5 sequential pages, very little text to start you out with. And then after we've gotten through the pages and the art, then we get in the creative team and we tell you all that you need to know in the trailer. Because that's what people want. They want to see what they're going to buy. That's what they want to see. We did 10K. We did 10K on this campaign. Let me show you the campaign insights, just so you understand this a little bit. Indiegogo says that they raised me 27% of my funding. Indiegogo is getting a lot of that number from this 19.8%, $2,000 raised from Indiegogo search. You know what that really is? That's when someone's heard about my campaign and they didn't have the direct link, so they knew that it was on Indiegogo and they typed it in the search bar. Indiegogo didn't bring me that. I brought me that. Here's a referral site, 30%. YouTube, 23%. Direct links from my emails, 15%. I got 7 backers, both from exploring the homepage, and their email brought me 2. So I got 16 backers from them. From that was good. The Google search brought me 8. Facebook, yeah. So all of this up here, from here to there, is direct traffic that I generated to my campaign, right? And so you have to take 20% off of that. They only generated 7% traffic for my campaign, and most of my campaigns are in that same vein. So if don't
lie about it, Luke. I've been shadow banned since sign up, and on my analytics, they're taking credit for 10% of my funding so far.
And how can they when you've been shadow banned?
Exactly.
Right.
And nobody went to Indiegogo.
This right here, I'm telling you, this is what I want to see. Look at that. This is where it's at. Show me the good koosh. That's what I want. This is what we want as consumers. I don't know who told you that you have to have this wall of text and all that stuff, but they're not talking about the consumer. Like, we are all about the people that buy the comic books. That's what we're talking about here. And this is what we want to see, is this right here. This is the cool stuff. Look at that lighting in this room. Look at that. Old church. That's creepy as all get out.
Can't wait to see what happens there.
Well, that's what I wanted. What happens there? Oh, I gotta wait. You didn't show me that page.
This is my artist job.
Come on. There's 2 girls on this show, and don't rip apart our campaigns on your show. That's not cool. It's not what we're here for. We want love and praise and positivity. We're gonna support each other. Yeah.
No, we don't always do that. No. You guys, you knew what this was when you got here. You knew what this was. But no, this looks cool. So tell me more about your story. what is it that you do with your what is this chaos?
So with this story, it's so she's an angel descendant and he's a demon descendant, and they don't know that yet, but we know that. And their fathers are after them because she was created by an angelic weapon that has the power of souls, and it was taken out of her, and now they want that. But unfortunately, her death is what activates it. So they were separated for 10 years. They thought that each other was dead, and they just got manipulated into being in this town at the same time. So it's kind of like Silent Hill. They're trapped in the town. As soon as she entered it, you can see a crack following behind her, and they're trapped there, and it starts to merge with hell. And you can see when it just starts to merge, and you can see the hellhounds come out, the skeletons come out, there's ghosts, and Anubis comes out, and they're trying to get them together because them together is what activates it. So pretty much the first book is them trying to escape the town and pretty much keep her alive, which, you know, first Draven thinks everything's a dream. So he pretty much is very reluctant, and he just kind of follows along. Like, everyone was like, shouldn't they like kiss and be happy they met each other and they're alive? They're like, no. 2 seconds later, they're attacked by ghosts, and they don't really have time to wonder what's going on. So
Okay, so let me get, so there's an angel.
Her father's the angel, and his father is the demon next to him.
So this is like Romeo and Juliet on a crack.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
And then there's ghosts, and there's Hellbeast. This Hellbeast is a great design, by the way.
Yeah, that's we wanted a wolf mixed with a dragon, so I think we got it.
You nailed it. Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah, he does great panel work. This is his first job, so he's new.
Okay.
But he's doing amazing, and each issue he gets even better.
Is he also your colorist?
Yep, he does it all.
Okay.
This is showing the past where Draven, what you saw in the beginning with the whole murdered human parents thing. The brother slaughtered the parents, and we're going to slaughter her. She calls up Draven, says, "Don't come to the house," and the first thing he does is come to the house. So she jumps out the back window. When he walks in, he slips on her blood. She gets hit by a car, and he gets arrested for murder. And that's the first 3 pages. So,
you were slamming the action in there. See, this is what I'm talking about. That's what people want to see. I'm telling you, they love the action. And I mean,
there's no slow moments in this at all.
Yeah, and these guys are backing me up on here. And see, the more I got to scroll, the less interest I have. No artwork at all guarantees and no back. Yeah, I mean, you could pull. I mean, and this is fun to look at. So yeah, you could pull in a lot more interest if people could see this stuff right away. Like this Anubis looking character. That's a very cool design.
Fan favorite. This is my plushie of Anubis. He's like my emotional support plushie. But
you have wait, hold on. I'm not looking at your screen. You have one?
Oh yeah.
Oh, here. Let me. I'm gonna make.
And then I have one
on
from
the
the
big
campaign.
screen.
So this is the emotional support.
Oh, that's cool. Can you get that on the campaign?
Yes, you can. This is a higher tier. These are handmade, so there's only a limited number.
Oh, neat.
And yeah.
So where is it? Is it down here? Do I have to get all the way down at the bottom to see that you do that? Hey yo.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a lot of plushies. We have the other demon that he doesn't come till later, but we had to have him made, so he's got his little pirate coat. We have Draven. We have.
Hold on, let me see that one again. A pirate demon?
He's got a pirate coat.
That's neat. Now I'm sure it doesn't look that cute in the story.
No, he looks positively awful.
Yeah.
But Anubis is he's everyone's favorite. So this is the last campaign, but
this is not the new one.
Yeah, almost all of this will be available in the new one too. So
you guys go sign up for this. This looks cool.
The next one is issue 4, and they're going to run into their first version of vampires, which we did a little bit different on. They're actually a subspecies of vampires, and they're called clotters. Their heart beats every 6 hours, just long enough so they don't go into rigor mortis. So if you cut them, they have like a clotted, pudding, disgusting blood mess. You can only kill them by chopping off their head or burning them. and they have a hive mind. So if they taste your blood and you get away, any one of them can chase you down and find you no matter where you go, unless you kill the entire family that was created. So pretty much, of course, she gets bit. So of course, the whole thing is them trying to track them all down and destroy them before they can track them down, because they have like a honing beacon. And if one of them is killed, then the rest of the family will come after you with a vengeance. So
Nice.
that's the next.
So Hojo says, all I have is beer koozies. Yeah, you got to step up your game, Hojo.
Yeah, we have like 3D Anubis and stuff. Like, we just love merch.
I ordered
stuff because it makes it tax deductible to sell it to you, but it's really because I wanted it. So.
Yeah. I ordered $500 worth of Slam Buddies and mini Slam Buddies for my campaign for hybrids, and they never showed up.
Oh.
And they said they delivered them. They had them delivered. And I said, look, I'm in the process of moving, so you have to tell me when you ship it and give me the tracking information so that I can make sure that my sister-in-law is there to get them, because I won't get notified because I'm still at my old address. And so when you send it, it will only notify me on boxes that are coming to my current address, not my new address. And they never did. So finally I emailed them. They're like, oh, we shipped that a long time ago. And I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me that you shipped it? Well, because the system notifies. I'm like, I expressly told you to let me know. And so it says that it was delivered. And so somebody apparently stole $500 worth of Trashman plushies. So someone's got $500 worth of Trashman plushies out there in Washington, Indiana. And when I find him, I mean, he's a very distinct character. So when I eventually run across one, I'm going to be like, where did you get those?
Yeah.
Because I will go lay down some hurt.
Yeah.
They do not want to mess with me. Yeah.
No, never get in the way of a man and his plushies.
No. Man, that's a big investment for my campaign.
I just had plushies made for the skeleton birds. They're actually in the mail now. I have a plushie in the mail too with it. That's the zombie merman with the tentacles for arms and everything.
Sweet.
I love merch.
That's awesome. So definitely, guys, check out her new campaign. It's coming live. What date again? April 18. It's going to be on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Yep. It's going to be on Kickstarter, so you're going to want to check that out. And we're going to go ahead and, since Doc is here, we're going to look at his campaign, because you are shadow banned. Doc is shadow banned. 11 days to go. Fixed goal. You've got 38 backers. You would be doing a whole lot better, man. Except for they're playing with you. They're toying with you, dude.
Yeah, and how they're taking credit for 10% is mind blowing to me.
Doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
If you're shadow banned, there should be no fee for you.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Nothing.
Yeah.
They're still taking their 5%.
But listen, this is why I kid you not, man. The second this thing is over, we're moving over to Fund My Comic, and I'm never looking back.
Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. You can see the art right away. You get the story. Get to see what's doing. Who's the artist on this one?
Me.
Good job, man.
Yeah.
How long you been doing this?
I did comic books back in the early 90s. Like, the same time Ethan was starting out, I was starting out. But I didn't stay with it. I was doing it to get a little extra money for college. I was finishing up my degree for counseling, right?
Yeah.
So when I went into counseling full time, I just left it aside. But I always have done fine art, painting, landscape painting. I'm a professional. And then when the world ended in 2020, I couldn't give a painting away, and I got canceled by the fine art community that I founded.
Why did you get canceled?
I was gatekeeping. I wasn't allowing people to poop or vomit on canvases and call it art and hang it on the walls.
I wouldn't call that art.
No, it's not art.
No, I wouldn't. That would be. That's not very tactful.
It's an insult.
Not very respectful.
Work their butts off.
Tell me about this monster that is squishing this dude's head.
Well, his name is Bob, and he works at a brewery. No, he's
the monster. He's had a rough day.
That's the funniest thing I've heard all day.
It was a rough week.
He's actually a golem created by our main character's grandfather.
Okay.
To rescue her. And if you know anything about a golem is only controlled by a until they break their control. Time they can only be controlled by the person that creates it. Elizabeth, our protagonist, actually is able to subvert him and take control over him, a thing that's supposed to be impossible. And so he is the mud to her blood. Her power is in her bloodline. He is the mud, so that's Pariah Blood and Mud.
Oh, neat. Dude, that's brutal. That's a brutal squish.
Yeah. I love me some swamp monsters, so there was no way I was going to come back out and do a book and not have some kind of swamp monster.
I like your design of your swamp monster. I would read a whole book just about him.
There may be something to that.
There we go. So it's in black and white.
Yes.
And here are the different. You are with Dark Gift Comics.
Yep.
Anthony, the pagan.
Yes, Anthony, who gets everything shadow banned just by being associated with it. So we've got that cover was colored by Matt Kratz. He did an amazing job. Exactly what I wanted. He was the colorist I wanted, and no one else. I told Anthony.
Okay, good.
Get Matt, or I will color it with freaking watercolors. And then we got the great Jim O'Reilly to do it.
Blood and Mud. Jim did a good job on that.
Yeah, Jim is killer, man.
I'm gonna do a fan art of your swamp monster.
Please do.
I love swamp monsters.
Now the colors on everything else that you see, the tapestries, the trading cards, that is all Carol Lee.
Okay.
Doing those colors. And so we're selling the original covers. If you scroll back up for just a second.
Sure.
I wasn't happy with my Golem design or execution on that one. And I saw Jim's and I'm like, no way Jim was going to outdo me. So I redrew my Golem and had him digitally inserted. So if you buy the original art, you're going to get two 11x17. You'll get the original cover and you'll get the inserted Golem. And then the same thing for Jim O'Reilly's. You'll get his pencils and then you'll get his inked version.
Very nice. Jim's good at drawing the ladies, isn't he?
Yeah, Jim can draw anything, man.
Yeah, he really can. He's very quite talented. Yeah. And it wouldn't be a Dark Gift Comics campaign without the Blacklight Tapestry.
Right.
Man, he is obsessed with those things, isn't he?
Yeah, and I got to tell you, man, first of all, that's a terrible photo. And I told him, he's like, there's nothing wrong with that photo. I was like, dude, it doesn't even look like that in real life.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, now I want those to hang back here instead of Dr. Doom and Daredevil.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, no, I don't have black light in my office. Now I don't have any light except for manufactured light in my office.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, this is nice. What is this?
John Dillard, if you back both of the current campaigns, which is Lightbringer Genesis Volume 2 and Pariah Blood and Mud, this will be a fully colored rendered print by John Dillard, who, as everyone knows, one of the best out there.
He is one of the best out there.
He
did our Rift Riders book.
Yeah,
he's very good. Speaking of Dillard, he actually has got a campaign that is going to be exclusive on Fun My Comic.
Yep.
Called Buckler, Canadian Tussle.
Yeah, I'm right behind him. One of the side characters in this book is a mysterious enforcer that everyone just calls Knock Knock. He's a 7-foot tall albino. And there's a deleted scene from Pariah that gives you a little bit of his backstory. So I'm gonna put that over on Fun My Comic the second this is done.
Very nice. Nice show of a lot of art there. It's very nice. Let's watch your trailer. How long is your trailer?
It's about a minute and a half.
Minute and a half. I can deal
2 hours and 45 minutes.
2 hours 45 minutes. These are long trailers. I'm like, yeah.
The sweetest morsel to the mouth. Badass music.
Was cooked in hell.
It was. Wait, did you do? Hold on. So we also do this thing. Sometimes I'll do this thing where I EFAP people's trailers, and it's a little bit of fun, and we have a little bit of fun with it. Did you do the voiceover on this?
I did the voiceover, and the first music segment is I wrote it. My son and I recorded it together. He's a musician.
So you're a musician too, huh?
Yes, sir.
Way to go, man.
And the second music is from a band in the 90s called Damnage that was here in Atlanta. The lead singer and the bass player were friends of mine. The lead singer's dead now. But I reached out to the bass player. I said, dude, I got to use this track. And he said, well, tell me about your book. So I I showed him pages. He said, "Oh, absolutely, roll with it." So thank you, Steve Tuggle and Damage, for the second part of the music.
All right, let's watch this. From
Revenge,
mature audiences.
the sweetest morsel to the mouth that ever was cooked in hell.
That is a great quote. Wouldn't expect that to come from Doc Blaylock.
When that
Hey,
beat
wow.
drops, where it's just like, it
That
just
is
gets you every
nuts.
time.
Yeah.
Hey,
It just gets up.
hitbaggers, you gotta love us.
So yeah, you've got now. Is this your first 30 or your second 30 on
First,
IGG? Are you going to extend?
I'll do whatever I gotta do to get this across the finish line, brother.
Yeah, man. Well, don't say that.
Well, I considered prostitution, but I don't
Right,
really.
that's funny. That's funny.
You can do an OnlyFans for feet.
Yeah,
Right,
well,
only
listen, I had somebody tell me you should do a dad body OnlyFans. I'm like, I'm
Do
deeply
it.
disturbed that someone would suggest that, but at the same time, whatever it takes.
dad bod. Oh my gosh. I'm rocking the dad bod. I want to make sure I share this too. He's been very quiet. I don't know if he's still with us. Black Knight's with us.
Yeah.
He here's a couple of things that you've got. Tell us about what you're working on, man.
Well, it's an old school space opera, pulpy space opera, and it was kind of like in the works for about 15 years. And initially it was supposed to be published. The 3 books is supposed to be a trilogy, and published in my native tongue. But it would appear that we also had like somewhat woke-ish publishers. And since I don't do, I don't preach the message.
Yeah.
And the characters are
The message.
yes, the message. And the characters are quite heroic, and they have families, they have children, etc. So, and also there is no communism in the books. There was, but they kind of destroyed it, defeated it. So
Yes.
yeah, it's an alternate universe, alternate history universe. Some things happened as they did, other things did not, and there were a bunch of stuff that is completely like constructed by me, so historical events, etc. So it's written in a style that a lot of people might recognize as something that is quite maybe like the old action-packed pops. Something in the line of maybe even sword and sandal, sword and sorcery,
Okay.
because you have these places, these planets where technology is almost seen as magic, and then you have the telepaths who most primitive people see them as sorcerers, as magicians. Of course, there you have like ancient starfighting technologies, etc., etc. It's a nice action-packed, mixed with mysteries and even some quote-unquote conspiracy theories.
Ooh, we like conspiracy theories here.
Oh boy. And
those are my fave, man. I love that stuff. Here's the sad part. So I wrote a book. My main comic that I write is about a corporation that is doing genetic experimentation on people, and basically is lied through corporate means and political means to do what they do. And they have this massive adrenochrome business that they're running, kind of parallel to their human trafficking that they do. And this was all escapism a couple of years ago, and now like we're kind of like living in real life for that. So what do you do when like your escapism becomes real? I don't understand. Like it was fake, guys. I promise it wasn't a social commentary. But no, this looks really cool. So you've got 7 books. 7 books.
7 books from the main series, which is Decalogy. 3 more books. I'm working on the 8th right now.
Wow, man.
And then I have an anthology, which is titled A Mandate of Sword and Railgun, which is a collection of some of my best stories, also set in the same universe. And then I published, last year I published Conan-esque novella. This one, it's called The Rifle Song. And it's a Conan-esque novella. I wrote it almost as a homage to Conan's author, creator, Howard, Dorothy Howard. But it's distinctively Star Shutter. I mean, this is it's a character who all of my readers, they immediately recognize him as part of that universe. I mean, you have this sword and sandal feel, but you have also like high technology and space magic in the mix, and then ancient stuff and ghosts and all kinds of mysterious monsters and stuff. And of course high adventure, because in his case, in Velin's case, he is not swashbuckling. He's shooting with a rifle. Yeah, he's shooting with a rifle and
pirate with a gun. There we go.
Killing people with the bayonet.
And that looks good. That looks good. Hey, we have a question here. Lori, Carissa.
Hold on.
Two incredibly talented ladies. As far as collabs, how would someone get a hold of you?
Oh,
Is there a link on your campaigns anywhere?
Yeah.
Social
Well,
media?
we're both on Twitter, so for me, it's at worthy_cash for Twitter. You could probably just search Worthy Chaos or Cursor Grant on Facebook. You could just add me right on Facebook.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And seriously, your guys' books are so cool. Put all that art stuff up at the front. Like let people like get hit with that because it's so good.
I tried to put my socials in the comments, but I think the bot stopped it for the
it
comments.
might have. Yeah, I don't even see it popping up on my end to be able to add
Probably
you.
not, because I was like, oh no, I put it in
Put
there.
your
I was
social.
like, it's not
Put your
going.
social in the private, and I will.
Okay. I think mine
force it
are. Are they?
Here,
Yeah,
we're gonna
mine
look
are
at.
there.
I wanna. I gotta look up. Let's do some Fun My Comic stuff. Show off what's going on over there. Let's go to.
Carissa.
Nichols is doing pretty good over on Fun My
Because that was
Comic.
worth it.
Yeah. What'd you say, Carissa?
Doc is flashing me, and I just told him if I had to pay for it, it's worth it.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh dear God. It's one of those kind of shows, guys.
Yeah.
There it
You
is.
winner. Okay, bye.
Let's check this out. So Mythicals is doing pretty good. Over on I know he's over 5K now. But he's still got a little ways to go on. This campaign's basically a clone of his Indiegogo. But you can see the art looks really good in this. Book looks really good. But I like his trailer. So let's watch his trailer. This is a fun trailer. This is
Yeah.
This is so
Did we
funny.
have this commercial?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I know I've played this.
Yeah.
In a world where creatures of myth and legend exist, a covert task force is charged with keeping humanity safe from supernatural threats. And when young Nancy Moon stumbles into the eternal battle between good and evil, she finds... Oh my God, will you shut up? What's happening? Agent Beckett here. Aren't you tired of stuff like that? Want something different? Roll the tape. Whoops.
Sounds like Doc Blaylock
Sorry
music.
about that. That's a song I'm writing for my ex. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's more like it. Alrighty. Welcome to the world of the mythicals. We have it all. Monsters, magic, government agents. He's the strong silent type. This guy, ugh, gross, dude. Get some kind of cream or something. Lots of 90s style action. Pew pew pew. And that strong female lead
Pew, pew,
alluded
pew.
to earlier.
Pew pew pew. Yeah.
Not to mention a dashing field commander with a great sense of fashion. Look at those glasses. South River Studios presents The Mythicals, Issue 1. Buy it, if you dare. Ugh. Will you can it already? How'd you get free? Now beat it before I lose my cool.
So what are you waiting for? Back it today. Like right now.
Back the Mythicals today.
Oh boy.
Good job on that trailer, Hojo. And just, I mean, every time I see it, you did a great job. Really worked hard to put the, to put a good creative team together. Looks good. It does. It looks good. He deserves all the success that he is getting. And he was on a stream last night and it didn't generate as much support as what he'd hoped, which we all deal with that. Depends on the day, really, doesn't it? Sometimes it could be a good day,
What that
maybe a bad day.
Formula is, I went on a stream last night with my buddy Will over our Creators Outlet. I think a whole 5 people were watching, but I picked up 3 backers. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Here's one that just got approved today. I got to show this one off. It was hilarious. This pushes the envelope a little bit. This pushes it pretty far. So this launches on March 31st. This is exclusive over here as well. Here, another, look at the pop art. See, this is what we're talking about. Art. You gotta have the pictures.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. I have to get going. I got a 2.5-hour drive.
Oh, yeah, you better get going. Guys, be sure to check out Carissa's work. Sign up for her launch next month. Carissa, be safe and best of luck.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully this 4-day doesn't kill me. We'll see.
Good luck for you.
Done a 4-day.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Carissa's launching her show, launching her Kickstarter on my show.
On your show?
Tuesday
Okay.
Morning Brew. So yeah, I do a launch party. She always launches on my show, so that's cool.
All right. Well, we'll definitely have to have her back once she's live, so we can actually get some backers for it. Let's check this out.
Hey, you. Are you tired of lame-ass stories for kids? Well, don't be a moron. Walk through that door.
He did a good job of censoring.
What's wrong?
This, though.
Don't be a sissy baby. Just have a look.
Fart noises.
The Buckler Canadian Tussle. Exclusively on Fund My Comic.
Did I mention that John drew our general audiences book called Riff Riders? Did I mention that?
Yeah.
Same guy? Same guy? Yeah.
Yes, you did. Yeah, but
Same guy, right? So, yeah, I want to go back.
it's a killer trailer. Yeah, it's really good.
It really is. So I wanted to ask a question. I saw this.
Yeah.
And what is so this is ASL.
Yes.
I know that, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Is this a contest or what is this?
So on the back cover of every issue, I craft a riddle.
Oh, that's
so
neat.
those 2 images, the red one was the back cover from issue 1. This is the back cover from issue 2. So that, again, that's part of that extra experience that Path of the Pill Rider provides. Jude St. Clair is what's called a coda. He's a child of a deaf adult. So he utilizes sign language. He is not hard of hearing or deaf, but he can sign proficiently. But a lot of times he's doing that to like smack talk people because he's just a sarcastic bastard. And it's really funny. So he's playing cards and he's like, they're talking smack to each other while they're playing cards. And so he'll insult them with ASL and they have no clue what he's saying. So this riddle, you have to interpret it correctly and then you have to answer the riddle. And if you send me the answer to the email that's listed, it triggers something to happen where you get an interaction with one of my characters.
Okay.
So that's what it is.
I'm trying to read the ASL.
Are you?
I used to know it. What?
Uh-huh.
Something os. Is it?
It is
that a B?
SS. It's what?
B? What, is that a B?
Nope.
I don't remember that one. But that's an OSS on the end.
ESS.
Can you? Oh, ESS.
What blank can you?
I'm trying to figure. That looks like a. That's not an R. That's a. Is it? It's not the X.
The second
either.
one is an R.
That's an R. Okay. RESS. What dress can you? That's an N.
Mm-hmm.
NE. V. Never wear. What
Yep.
dress can you never wear? Okay.
Yeah.
An address.
Don't answer it on live. Email me your answer
Okay.
and see what happens.
Okay. But that's clever. This is neat. So that's neat that you did that. Look, you got me into it like right away.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
Oh, this is neat too.
Neil Patrick Harris makes riddles, which is really bizarre, but he has this deck of cards that will lead you down just this rabbit hole, because there's a riddle on the deck of cards that will take you to a website, and there's like 3 or 4 different riddles into the website that you have to solve in order to get to the prize. So stuff like that is just really interesting to me. I love it. So that's the kind of experience I want to provide to my readers.
Yeah, this is very cool. You've got a lot of add-ons here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you doing stretch goals with this campaign too?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I see that. Right as I said that, I'm
like, yeah.
seeing it right there, right in front of me, like I'm an idiot.
You're fine.
Look at that. Yeah, open your eyes, Luke.
It's right there.
5,000.
Everybody gets the PDF bundle. Everybody. I love that, because in my last 2 campaigns, when you're thinking stretch goals, you're like, okay, tchotchkes, right? But for those people who, we don't ship overseas right now. We're not big enough. So I have a backer that's in Germany. So he can only do PDF. He doesn't have the option to do physical. So I want to make sure he can get some stretch goals too, because he's still just as important to me as everybody else who backs the project. So this was our solution, where I'm going to bundle together comics that I love, and I know all of these creators personally, and everybody can get extra comics and read them no matter where you're backing from.
I prefer stretch goals with more stuff to read.
Cool. Yeah.
You get
magnets and tchotchkes, and
I don't need a lot of that stuff. I have a box of tchotchkes that I collected from everybody's campaigns that I just throw them all in that little box, and when it gets full, I give them away.
Experiences as well. So I think at 6,000, I'll do a live cut. So I'll get out a machete. I have several long swords, or if you guys want to vote, I'll let people vote which weapon I use, or I can get out the sledgehammer and we're gonna destroy something, because I think that's fun and hilarious. And I can either dress up as Pikachu or Machete or whatever, just to make it fun. And it's not like most creators can do that. So
you have a drawn in tier here, right?
I do. It's gone.
It's gone, all gone.
Yeah.
Guys, you missed out on the drawn in.
It's not only drawn in,
very
it's
popular.
mauled by the bear, because the bear makes an appearance in this issue, and it's getting your head knocked off by Big James, and it went real quick.
You should do a plushie of Big James.
Carissa keeps trying to talk me into that. You know how many times she was like, you need a plushie, you need a pillow, you need magnets, you need this, you need that. And I'm like, girl, you are the queen of merch.
Really? I mean, don't underestimate the power of an iconic character.
Yeah, and it was one of those where we never really anticipated Big James to be a returning character, but now there's going to be some kind of homage to Big James in just about every issue. Because people love him. They come out for Big James t-shirts and Big James Funkos. And I put out a survey after my last campaign asking people, what kind of stuff are you looking for in the next one? Because I always want to make sure I have stuff in my campaign that people actually want. I'm not putting up stuff that people are like, we don't care.
I'm telling you, this cocaine bear is so popular right now.
I know.
This image right here needs to be the first thing that you see.
Refresh.
When you open that campaign.
I put
is it now? Oh yeah, there we go.
What do you think I was doing while you were? I was like, good. I started. I didn't get to finish.
Look, he's a nice looking guy, but I don't really care.
You should. He's beautiful.
Well, he is a nice looking guy, but I don't care. She's a beautiful lady. I don't really care so much. But man, see, this looks bad. But when I get down to that, man, that bear, you need to be plastering that picture of that bear everywhere. That's one of your covers?
Yep.
That's cover C.
Yes.
Everett Watkins did that for you.
Yes. I'll stick that up top too.
This is such a cool, like, movie poster type picture.
So good.
Yeah.
That is so neat. I'm telling you.
So
That
I
is so
usually
cool.
do 5 covers. So I'll have Marco do the A cover, and then I'll pick 4 other artists. And 2, I usually do like veteran comic book, producers, artists, and then I'll pick 2 other artists that are not typical. And Everett is a graphic designer by trade.
Yeah, I can see the graphic designer element in there.
Yep.
And that's great. It was a good choice. It was
You
really
can sell it
smart.
as a movie poster, this one.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Cocaine Bear coming out, and this is what he produced. So yeah, I'll
Capitalize on that
too
right
to
now.
get some attention. We're still
Yeah.
early enough in the campaign where I think
You certainly are. You can still make, and that's the best part about running these campaigns. Like, especially this page. This is not set in stone.
right.
You
No,
can,
I just made a change while we were talking. So I was
yeah,
like,
you can go in and adjust
big
that.
James at the top.
And look, you got 27 days to go.
Mhm.
You can. I've changed trailers mid-campaign
Yeah, I've done that
before
too.
to do that. But yeah, guys, look at this. This looks like a fun book. Just from the aspect of it's going to have a lot of gore
It does.
and a lot of action. The art is actually, I really like the art style in it.
Thank you.
I really do like the art style in this book.
The premise, next level bizarre.
Yep.
Someone asked in the chat, Luke, earlier, how do you eat food if nothing dies? And we've talked about
We have talked about that and how difficult it is.
So do you still cook meat, right?
If you can get it, like a cow is not going to be
It's
willing
not gonna just give
to
it
be
up,
butchered,
right?
It's still active even after death. So how do you
Man.
butcher this large animal who isn't willing to submit?
Wait, do plants still grow in your stomach after you eat them?
No, because again, we're still following the logic that once things are dead, they decay. So you can eat plants, but the problem with plants is insects. Insects are stupid. They only do a couple
very
things
stupid.
really well, and eating is one of them. And if pesticides don't work, how do we stop the bugs from eating all of our crops? We're going to
the
have a
smell.
massive food shortage.
Right.
There's going to be water issues. And you will feel it moving in your belly.
But
move.
just the
That burger
overall
and-
smell.
Yeah, Luke, that grossness that you're realizing right now. We went in depth on that. Honestly.
Yes.
I don't remember where we were, but it was like, Laura, you left me traumatized. Okay,
I know, but it's fun to think far down the rabbit hole. I'm about to release some pencils for William Russell's cover. He's been working on it, and that's going to bring up an entirely new topic that we haven't touched on. And it's kind of hard to talk about it on a live because it's a subject that you normally can't talk about. But what happens to schmecks? If you get my drift. Things that were taboo are less taboo because people are so animated.
Oh.
One of the oldest professions can continue to
Necrophilia.
be an old profession after death. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So that raises the ethical question about
You're
that.
gonna stoop a zombie.
Yup. Would
Do
you?
you stoop somebody that's dead?
Would you?
Man, I
What
don't
the
know.
consequences of that are? You know what I mean?
Randy, what's your call on that? What would you do?
He's like, I'm out.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
What if
not to sound too perverted, but I guess it would all depend upon their state of decay.
Right.
Yeah. How far?
Right, yeah.
How far?
How fresh are they?
Exactly. Ew.
More.
Oh
You know what I
gosh,
mean?
that's terrible.
It opens a whole new can of worms. So there's so many places that this story goes. We've talked about this on another show too. The ethics behind how long do you continue to have your rights when you're undead? Can you own
Oh,
property? Can you have a firearm? Can you vote? Can you drive a vehicle?
Well, if
How
you're a
long
Democrat,
can
you
you
can
do
still
that?
vote.
And once you're dead, does the fluid stop flowing?
Oh.
The fluid?
Fluids, like
Yeah,
blood.
if your
cut,
heart's
you don't
not.
bleed, right? Your heart's not beating.
Circulatory
Correct.
system.
Your circulatory.
your
yeah,
feet
So
would
for you
swell.
men, the things
your
don't
reproductive
work.
system is done.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's another thing that, yes, that we were talking about is like, it's very one-sided after death.
Ugh.
Because If your heart's not beating, your things are not
Working.
Yeah.
But for us ladies, you just throw some lube on it, and guess what? It still works.
Oh.
But that's
Yeah, but it's the
very
sensation there.
one-sided.
That's
It's
the
very one-sided. So it brings like a whole new level of what the hell to
with the
What a story, Mark.
yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to my brain.
Comics are awesome.
You don't get that anywhere else, man. I'm telling you, you don't get it anywhere else.
You won't.
Yeah, that's awesome. File 13 says they had hooker zombies in the movie Land of the Dead.
That's
Yes,
the
they
thing.
did.
You think it wouldn't be? Of course.
Have you heard of Edward Davis does a book called Immortal Era? He's like, I think 8 books in or something like that, or 8 or 9. And it is a very similar premise in the fact that one day people just stop dying.
Yep.
But it kind of causes society to fall to pieces a bit. And so, yeah, very interesting concept. I don't feel like it's explored enough. But the idea that you can have a giant decayed bear coming at you, that is terrifying. And he's probably just, I mean, and the worse his brain gets, the more angry he gets.
Yes. Yeah, and he lives on this cliffside road, and he's territorial for this road. So if you're on it and you're in his sights, good luck. How do you get away from something that's an apex predator? It can run faster than you. It can swim. It can climb trees. And now you can't even put a bullet in its brain to stop it. All you do is piss it off. Find out.
That's fun. That's
Read
fun.
issue 1 and
buy
find
the
out
book,
what
guys.
happens.
You got to buy the book. So it is live right now on Kickstarter. I've already put the link in the chat. Go ahead and let's put a little bacon on this thing. Let's put a little bacon wrap on this one. We've got 48 backers right now. I would love to see us get to 49, maybe 50 backers if we can pull that off.
Oh, that would be so
Guys,
cool.
come on. Yeah, let's get a little action on this thing. You can get a $5 PDF. Download this. You can do the digital catch-up tier. $8. You can get both. All three books. All 3 books. Physical issue 3 is $10. That's first week only.
We're still there.
4 days to go. First week.
You guys can get early bird.
Come on, guys. Yeah, get that early bird. $15. You get PDF of 3. You get physical of 3. Do you have a cool catch-up tier?
Yes.
For those of us that like physical.
Yes.
But have not been able to.
It's called ketchup, like the condiment, like ketchup and mustard.
I like that. Yeah.
So Laura, in chat, I put my idea.
Sauce.
Would paralytics become a new cooking mainstay?
Ketchup.
So you slaughter a rabbit or a cow or whatever, and you inject it with a paralysis agent.
How long would it last, and would it affect you if you ate it?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? You know,
Yep.
How far would people go to be willing to have a slab of prime rib?
Right. I mean, we've talked about like all sorts of stuff, like painkillers becoming currency, because the undead can still feel. So as they're decaying, depending on how they died, they're kind of stuck in their own pain. Talked about food itself and all the different ways it can go. People are like, well, flesh-eating zombies, and I was like, technically we have cannibals in the real world, so there could be that person out there that just flips a switch and goes full cannibal.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Undead cookbook, an apocalypse cookbook.
They have those
On the campaign. Yeah, but for your
me write a cookbook.
Yeah, where things don't die. So here's what you can do.
That would be a fun stretch goal.
That would be fun. Well,
Give
I have
people
to
a
choose
small
your own
cookbook,
adventure
yeah.
book on there too as an add-on, where you can put on the boots and the hat and go walk around the wasteland and see all the creative ways that kill you off.
Oh my god,
that's funny.
Well, you get to run bounties, and you get to meet characters that show up later in the story. I love that because you as the reader will know how scary these characters are when Jude encounters them, and he's clueless, of course, because he's meeting them for the first time. So he'd be like, oh my god, is that the Skinner? Run! But Jude is clueless. So it's fun.
Jude is clueless.
Jude is clueless when he meets the Skinner. And then you as the reader should not be. If you've read the Choose Your Own Adventure, you know how terrifying that character is.
I mean, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm on board with this one. I think this is going to be a good one. So remember, we need to get backers, guys. You back the book. You back the book. We make the bird dance.
I want to see
Make
that
the bird
birdie
dance. Yep. So what else are we going to share this morning? While we're waiting on a couple of backers to jump in, let's go ahead and cover new RP or free RPG day. You guys hear about this? So there's apparently, we have free comic book day. There's a free RPG day. I had no idea that this even existed.
I didn't know this existed either.
Right?
Yeah.
So reveals list of games available. So Gaming Days LLC has announced that the date for Free RPG Day 2023 has been moved from June 17th to June 24th, which is, hey, that's my anniversary.
Hey.
Yeah, my wife and I, that will be, what is this?
Oh, wow.
2023, we'll be married for 23 years. 23 years this year.
You were married in 2000. That's easy
Yep.
to remember. Thank goodness.
It is. It's
I know. I
can
forget.
do
People
it.
are like, how long you been married? I'm like, I don't know.
That's the only way I can do it.
A long time.
A long time.
That's a long time.
But it's
God
great.
bless
She's
you
my
for
best
that.
friend, and she's smoking hot, so it works out great for me.
There you go.
She stuck around. I'm telling you, she stuck around. She helped out so much when I got out of the hospital in my recovery, and she's been amazing. I'm telling you, I couldn't ask for a better friend and a better partner, and so I'm pretty excited about that. So not only can I celebrate 23 years of being married to my best friend, I can celebrate by grabbing some free role-playing games, some RPGs. Where does one go to get these free RPGs? I wonder.
Yeah. How do you do that?
So the date change occurred because the original date coincided with the pre-release of The Lord of the Rings, The Tales of Middle-earth, The New Magic, The Gathering universe, which, by the way, has caused a grown man to cry because Aragorn is now black in that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. We try our best every year to schedule free RPG day in a way that allows game stores to get the most out of the event, he said. The recent announcement of a hotly anticipated pre-release event on the 17th meant that stores would have to make a choice about what to feature. And we know what side the bread is buttered on. I like how they put that. Yeah, we know they're going to, they're going to feature the other one. So Gaming Days LLC changed it. But okay, so the list of games slated to be included in the free RPG kit is the 9th level games, level 1. I've never heard of it, but hey, I'm game. Arcane Tin Man, Monsters, Cards, Mini Adventures, and a Pocket RPG Guide. There's a lot included here. Foam Brain. That's an enamel pen. That's not really a... Ed Studios Adventures in Rokugan. Maybe I'll make our first quick play available free that day for download.
Get in
That's
on
what
it.
I'll do.
Yep.
Yeah, get in on that. Say, hey guys, it's free RPG day. This is cool. I've never heard of this before. So I guess your local comic shop or game store is where you would find that, where you'd find this stuff at. But I thought that was something cool to feature. Let people know that we've got, something neat going on. Now, I know Free Comic Book Day is in May. Not exactly sure which day that is again. But Free Comic Book Day is coming up very soon. And so you'll check that out. Randy, you did retail. Did they do Free Comic Book Day when you were a retailer?
No.
No, they didn't do it back then.
Nope.
Do you think that would have helped?
Anything to bring people into the stores at this point is going to help.
Right.
Quite
So.
frankly.
Right.
Anything. So that the idea of Free Comic Book Day was really sprung out of, I believe it's the Avengers movie release. They were trying to pull people right from the theater right into the retail shops, unlike what Marvel has tried to do ever since. So, yeah, anything to get people into the shops would be an important thing. And the organized days, they do 24-hour comic book day too, to try to pull people into the shops where they have creators sit there for 24 hours at their local retail shop and create an actual comic.
What?
Wow, that would be a really cool idea. Show them how to do it.
Yeah, I did the first couple. I did the first couple of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's been around for about 10 years now. Yeah. 24-hour comic book day. It's a thing.
File 13 says no zombie sushi.
No
Nope.
zombie sushi.
It just always moves.
File 13 says I've eaten some weird shit in my travels. Hot sauce and cilantro makes everything better.
Oh God! Have you seen where they eat the octopus that's alive?
Yeah,
It's
alive
like a little.
now. I'm gonna
so
pass.
gross.
Thanks.
Yeah,
y'all
me
pass.
too. Yeah.
That's what it would be like.
Right. So back to this as an example of the boom bust cycle. Image may be down 27% at Coliseum, but this follows a 4% increase in January to May of 2022, preceded by a 38% increase in 2021. So even though they're down 27%, they're still up from what they were in 2019, which isn't bad, but you can definitely see where that bust comes in.
There are a lot of different factors that work into these numbers.
There really are.
Though, too, because a lot of your secondary publishers have had to cut back on their production because they're not getting paid from the retailers that aren't paying Diamond. Thus, Diamond's not paying them because Diamond's paying all the big accounts first. And if any money trickles down, they have a pecking order that goes down. So a lot of these, especially the third and fourth tier publishers, just don't see any money at the moment.
They really
from
don't.
Yeah.
They really don't. Yeah.
And it's very sad. Shouldn't happen. But,
But speaking of seeing money.
Oh, we got a backer.
There you
got
go.
a backer. How many did we get?
It's a little bacon.
Let's see that.
There's a little bit of bacon. So you know what we got to do? We made the birdie dance. With that, we're coming up on 3 hours. It is time for us to say our salutations. Man, today has been fun. It's been a great day. I want to thank Black Knight for being here. Thank you, Mad Ruth, for being here. Thank you, Lori Calcaterra. It's been great to see you. Also great to have Carissa here with her project. Thank you so much, Doc Blaylock, for showing up, showing off what you've got. Randy, as always, it is a pleasure to have you on the panel.
Aerocomics.store,
great
folks.
day.
Yeah.
Aerocomics.store. Check out all these great campaigns. Check out all these great links that we've been popping in there. We'll continue to share those out.
Paragon. He's got Revolt right there.
Paragon. He's got Revolt. Yeah, we got a lot of Arrow stuff there.
Aerobot Zero.
Yeah, there's
I'm
3
almost
Arrow
done
guys on
hybrid.
the panel here.
Getting there.
Hybrids.
Start
there we
working
go.
on number 3. It's on the list. Revolt.
I'm pretty proud of that Hybrids campaign. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that Hybrids book.
It's beautiful.
Hey, look at that. Is that your character, that Funko?
Yeah, this is the first one. This is
Sweet. Blow that up.
And then we have the
Look at
Undead
that.
Bear, Big James, as well as a Funko. Let me take my backdrop off. If anybody was wondering, of course, this is not where I'm actually at.
Yeah. I was like, wait, I used to live there once.
So this is Jude St. Clair.
Cool.
So how did you go about? Oh, you can pay to get custom ones made.
This is a custom. This is not directly through Funko. It says Pop Custom up top, just so no confusion. But I love these guys. They customize their box, so every character that we move forward, it has the issue that corresponds to that campaign.
Oh,
So
very
it's
neat. Very neat.
Yep.
Those are really cool.
That's great.
Can you order those, or did you just get that for yourself?
This one is mine. There was 5 from campaign number 2 that were created. There is 5 that are available. Well, was available for Big James Funko Pops. There's 2 spots left. So if you like Funkos, go grab a Big James. He's probably going to be the coolest one that we make.
Big James is cool.
He's so
like
big.
Big
He's 2 pieces. His whole head just comes off. I have a picture.
Cool.
Let me do this. You guys hang out for just a second.
I've got to get a Hero Bot Funko Pop.
Yeah, you do. I need to print your figure. We got a figure designed in 3. I just got to 3D print it.
We need to get a bunch of those done so that we can offer them to on the campaign. Yeah.
Big James is cool.
Oh, look at that. Neat. That is awesome. I love that bear.
Cool.
It's got scars and everything. It's really neat.
Yeah.
The next one.
That is just great.
Really cool.
How big he is.
Guys, check that out. So that's available on the campaign right now.
There's 2 left, but that's it. After they're only going to make 5.
What's the cost of that tier?
It's $250 because Big James is expensive.
I bet he is. Yeah.
I bet he is. Yeah, it's an awesome toy.
that
Look
cool?
at
For
that.
that $250 tier, you also get a T-shirt.
Yes, you get a
And you
Big
get
James
issue 3.
T-shirt to go with your Big James Funko.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
So
And you get your name on the thank you page. Say thanks a lot.
look, his head comes off.
That's awesome. That is so
Jude
neat.
wishes.
He wishes.
He wishes.
So apparently he has to deal with Big James quite often.
Yeah, well, we'll see. You gotta just read the books to find out.
Yeah, I'm looking
He
forward to it.
definitely has a memorable experience with that bear.
Well, I'll certainly be getting my copies. There's no doubt about that. So thank you. Thanks for being here today. It's been great talking to you, getting to know about what you're doing, and thanks for putting up with my unsolicited critiques, which I do all the time.
A little off guard. We were
That's
like,
my show. I do that. That's what I do. No, here's my thing. When I see great campaigns and great creators, and I'm like, this could be so much better. Like, this is the stuff that people want to see. This is what spotlights you. Like,
yeah.
that.
Go back and refresh. Take a look now, because what I did, I did what you suggested. So
You
it has
did.
the cover. It
Look
has
at that.
the splash
That
page
looks
from
great.
1, and then the splash page from 2, or not?
Oh yeah.
An interior
Let's just show
for
that
2.
off for a second.
I just
See,
threw it up.
now that's what you got. The video.
Yeah.
Boom. Beautiful. Boom. Beautiful. Gorgeous page. Interior page.
And then
you
it
get
goes into the stuff. Is that?
That is perfect. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Then I can read about it, and then because that's going to make me want to look through. It's like, oh, because sometimes a lot of times my next question is, well, I wonder who drew that. Oh,
Yeah.
this guy drew it. Okay.
That guy.
Yeah. I don't like him because he's more handsome than me. So that guy can screw it.
Using them both because they're both younger than I am, but they both take these great pictures. They're like beauty shots, right? And then there's me. I'm usually having like my face covered, or I'm
Yep.
cosplaying or scary.
See, because now I've seen it, and now it makes me want to scroll through.
Cool.
You see, it compels you to
The
do
best-
it now. Good job.
The best advice I was ever given was that it's like the TikTok generation nowadays. So most people,
Yeah,
you're lucky if you can keep them for 30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah.
There's no patience.
Yeah, I try to keep all my trailers to 30 to 50 seconds because people just have short attention spans now.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so hard.
Or use some really badass music to keep them for a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I produce the music and have the music on my trailers that I do.
Yeah.
So that they want to stick with it. You know, I pay Pedro to do that animation. You know, because it's important to have something that grabs you. And as you can see,
Pedro-
Hojo did a great job with his trailer, getting people to lock into that. So yeah, I do try to help people out a little bit. Like come on, this could be better. We got to get you more backers, because it's really, I think that's where we mess up, and I think that's what our big complaint with Marvel and DC has been, is they've stopped thinking about the end user, the fan, and they're thinking about everybody else along the way, and padding everybody's pockets, but they're not thinking about that comic book fan. Now, so I get my comic from EVS. It's years late, but when I open the box, I get this. I don't know if you can see it in there. I get this fantastical box for free. Like, this is for free.
Cool.
That's going on my shelf. That's cool. Like, it's so neat in there, right? And it's like, it was late, but he was thinking about, even when I opened the box, how the experience was opening the box. Like, Apple gets that. Like, they understand that opening the box can be an experience. And the campaigns that do that, man, I'd gladly give them 2 or 3 times what I would give the big guys, because they care. You know, I can tell they care about me. And that's that's what sets this indie renaissance apart from the corporate comics that are being driven into the ground, is our care and our connection with our fans.
And really,
it's all
the
about
good
that.
stories are in indies right now. I'm just blown away by all
really
the
are.
projects I have seen. You know, there's something for everybody.
Just
It
wait
really
and see.
is.
Just wait and see. Especially, I mean, I can't talk about the comics scene. I've seen a few, but from my own like experience with other authors and like the beginner authors, oh boy, you're gonna have some like lots of fun. Those of you who like reading.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there. In fact, some of the best stuff out there right now.
Yeah.
Is in the indie market. And so, guys, keep it up. Remember, we always say this around here. You've got to build up more than you tear down. You've got to leave that wood pile a bit higher than you found it. And by all means, thank you for being here today, chat. Thank you for being here, panel. Thanks for putting a little bacon on Lori's campaign for us. Be sure to check out Doc Blaylock. He has Shadow Band, and he needs your help too, guys. Get over there, check that out.
I don't have the body for OnlyFans.
Yeah, don't have the body for OnlyFans. Check out Mad Ruth over on Fund My Comic. Check out all this stuff at arrowcomics.store. Fundmycomic.com, guys, is a revolution. Be part of the new movement, folks. So we will see you next week. Remember, build up more than you tear down. Leave the wood pile higher than you found it. And by all means, let's be careful out there.
Let's be careful out there. Let's be careful out there. We had a 187 at the 7-Eleven on the corner of 4th and Main. 2 Caucasians of the male persuasion put a bullet through the cashier's brain. Moving on, I see a 211, half a dozen 459, 2 ADWs, a GTA, and several miscellaneous crimes.